Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What time is it, Ralphie? Shimmy time.
Come on, Ryan. Let me see you shimmy.
Regular juice box.
Shimmy, yeah.
What's up, family? This is a little crossover edition, a little fix, AM and the PM, here only on A2D Radio. We are all live from our own quarantine studios. Hopefully we'll be back soon together. But listen, we're here to give you and bring you some knowledge, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Dellavecchio, Greg Milakovic, Nick Juliano, Frank Vespe. We went all full names. Giddy up and let's go. Ton to talk about. Dumbest thing of the week. It's a lot of things. I mean, in a I don't want to say slow week because we had nothing but the draft, so it was actually a high up-tempo week. But in a semi-slowish week, there's been so many dumb things just said in one night. Just over one draft. Over one draft, so many dumb things have been said. MLB targeting late June. We'll talk about that. And we talked about it a million times. I think it's going to go as the NBA goes. So hopefully, in terms of sports, getting sports back, they sort of respond first. Best available free agents for the Eagles. We're going to talk about them on who we think them guys are. And we're going to have a list. And obviously, we're going to dissect the guys that are actually that we would need. Right, it's need positions, and we have about 4 or 5 of them that we listed that we could use maybe a vet at. So we'll discuss that throughout the show. Eagles 2020 draft fallout. Right, so what we're going to do as a panel here tonight is we're going to give you our who we think is going to be the best pick in the draft, and what pick we despised in the draft. All right, and that sort of ties into our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services. Find them on the web, ambuckservices.com, AMBUCK. Tell them the boys from A2D saying you 20% off through the quarantine. Gutters, gutter guards, gutter installations, anything out back, they got you covered. Pretty much anything at your house, they got you. The poll question, the Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts was a good move. Do you agree or disagree? Please let us know on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We're live, and everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us as well. We're the best in the business, baby. And we're here to expose the idiots tonight. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be an exposure talk. So I hope the people that are on one side of this poll, I hope they can handle the heat that's about to come to them. The Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts was a good move. Right, boys? This to get the party started. There's been so much controversy just in one topic. And I'll put it like this. Drafting a quarterback in the second round, if you want to develop them, listen, it is what it is. Your quarterback gets hurt sometimes. I get it. It's a quarterback-driven league, but you got to draft the guy who's actually a good quarterback. Then you don't draft draft gadget. You don't draft spinny wheels. You don't draft that in the second round. In the second round, it's got to be impact guy now, unless it's what you think needs to be an upgrade to quarterback position if he goes down. Right? That's not what that is. That's a gimmick. It's a guy who can't throw the ball well enough. So all that will be discussed throughout the show. I completely disagree with it being a good move. It's a terrible move. To me, right now, it's a wasted pick. There's no way it makes this football team any better next year. He's not an option offensively. It's a guy who already said he doesn't want to be a gadget guy. I mean, how many times does he have to make it clear, too? So he's going to do everything in his power not to be the gadget guy. He wants to be a quarterback. So you said you're a quarterback factory. Press Taylor's talking about you being something completely different then. All right, so I don't know what you are. Howie's talking about quarterback factory, not gadget factory. If we want to be a gadget factory, you can have the whole draft then, right? That's a big F you. So I completely disagree with it. And again, I'll say it a million times. It's got to be an impact guy in the second round when you're ready to win now. Your window to win shortens, right? That opportunity gets smaller and smaller. And everybody over the Andy Reid days knew this. It would get smaller as it went. Well, listen, we won one. We all won another one. So it's got to be impact guys. I mean, Jalen Reagor, you can say he's an impact guy round one. All right, you don't have to like the pick, but at least it's something in need and speed. We'll take it. We'll see where it goes. But round two, then it's got to be another impact guy. It can't be Gadget City. This is what we are now. We're Gadget City. Okay, we're supposed to be a team that's gone to three straight playoff appearances and a Super Bowl victory. We're supposed to be sort of setting the tone on how we want things done here in the NFL, not the opposite way, not following. When did the Chiefs have gadgets? They didn't have gadgets. They have playmakers. There's a difference. There's a big difference. And if you want to develop quarterbacks then. But then don't your other coordinators come out and tell me that we're going to use him here, here, and here, and here. No, because then he's going to be a quarterback then. You told me quarterback factory. Game over. Who wants to go next? That's what you told me. You told me quarterback factory. You didn't tell me gadget factory. So end it there then. You got to make up your mind on what you want, because it's been a contradiction the whole damn time, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it, because nobody has an answer. All we wanted was an answer. You don't got one. You don't got one. Go on. Sorry. Had to get off my chest. And the idiots, shut up. It's a terrible move.
You're good. You're
Please,
good.
nobody on this panel say they agree. Please, God forbid. Please, because I can't do this tonight. This swinging around the room. Please tell us your comments. We'll read them all off tonight as well.
So, for me, obviously, Ralph and Frank, you're kind of in the same boat. Jules, you too. We were obviously live during both round one, or day one and day two of the draft. And a lot of people have seen, or at least got instant reactions in the moment. And it wasn't good. It was a lot of questions, a lot of panic, and it was justified. It was justified. But like everyone says regarding that pick or any other pick or any pick in sports in the draft, it's about, okay, well, sleep on it. Sleep on the move, sleep on the decision. So I did. Thought about different reasons why it could make sense, different reasons why it won't make sense. I've calmed down. And with that being said, I still think it's a horrendous pick. With all that being said, I've calmed down. The screaming's over. I've gotten up from the floor that I fell on the floor when that thing actually happened. That pick was made. Still a bad move. It's a bad move for my sanity. It's a bad move for, I would say, the morale of this organization and this fan base, especially when, and we're not trying to make it a Nick Foles thing. Nick Foles is in Chicago. Doesn't matter.
30 here, Ryan.
Say it again?
30 here.
What, the Foles people?
The Foles. It's never going to leave. Once the seed was planted, it's over. So any backup or any pick used, above a certain point, that some of this fan base is going to be the next savior. All right, that's what it all comes down to. That's what you're seeing here. I got no problem with Jalen Hurts. I said that a million times. So I don't want to read off any of that crap anymore. Okay, I like the kid, love the kid actually. All right, I just don't think he's a good enough quarterback. Now, if you want to be a quarterback factory, show me one you develop. If not, it better be this guy then. You understand? It better be this guy then. If you use in the second round, he better at some point, he has to play for your organization. If he does, that's telling me your franchise quarterback isn't here.
There's two parts to this. Number one, realistically, and I get all the people, oh, well, what if Wentz gets hurt, or what if Wentz is struggling and Jalen Hurts comes in week 6 and he leads us to a Nick Foles 2.0, type of run. Let's take the freaking Disney movie storyline out of it. We already had one in 2017/2018. Realistically, the soonest this can turn into a good pick, not a great pick, a good pick, is 2 years down the line. I say that because, and this goes to the other thing that I keep hearing over and over and over again. Oh, guys, why are you guys even talking about Hurts? He's not going to play. He might not play for 2 years. Wrong. Way back about 2 months ago, right before quarantine started, free agency was about to happen, numerous reports, and I was told by a very good source, we've talked about this before, so this is not source guy, it's legitimate, that they wanted Taysom Hill badly. Badly. Obviously, as we would then learn, he wasn't available. He didn't become available. He stayed with the Saints, and obviously you just got that extension. They've been looking for this gadget-esque type of a mold, and I keep hearing, and to be honest, I don't know why everyone's in a hurry to go and compare him to, oh, he's Lamar Jackson. Oh, he's Taysom. Why is everyone such in a hurry to label him as this? If we're going to label him, which again, I don't want to even be in the business of doing, he's not going to be Lamar Jackson for this team for at least 2 years. He's definitely not going to be Taysom Hill, because Taysom Hill was an undrafted free agent. Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick at 53. If you want to compare him to something, the most he's going to be is, remember when Michael Vick came in all the way back when Donovan was still on the team, and he was that gadget-esque player? That's what Jalen Hurts is going to be for the next 2 years, but just more of it. So everyone's saying, oh, well, guys, don't even talk about it. He's not going to be on the field. Because even if that was true, that would make the pick even more horrifying. Because then you're drafting a guy that you know going in, who you need. You keep talking all before the draft. that you need volume of players, you're not getting a guy who you want to be on the field for the first 2 years. What?
They're going to use him in Wildcat and read options, and that's what they're going to use him early on. They're going to take their best player off the field. Ralphie, Greg, whoever.
I'll go. You already know. My reaction was simple. What the fuck are we doing when that happened? I disagree. I disagree to the poll wholeheartedly, man. I mean, at 53, you still had a lot of good talent on the board, right? You had Christian Fulton still there. Jeremy Chin was still there. J.K. Dobbins was there. And Tommy, you said it as the draft was going on, that there's still playmakers there for Carson Wentz to play with, and you went Jalen Hurts. We're not knocking Jalen Hurts as a player. He's a good player. Everywhere he's been, he's won, gotten to the big games, right? But not in Philadelphia, he's not going to be a good player. Because when is he going to sniff the field? That's my question. If you look at Taysom Hill's only been, since he's been with New Orleans, I think 23% of the snaps he's been on the field for since he's been in New Orleans. I mean, it's crazy that we want to compare Jalen Hurts to Taysom Hill. Granted, Taysom Hill was undrafted. They didn't really have to spend a draft pick. But if the way they did it at 53, that I don't think a lot of people would have been mad about it if you did it in the fourth or fifth round if he was still there. The reason why everybody's up in arms about it is because they did at 53 with the whole litter still on the board. There were so many players still on the great talent on the board. That's why everybody's upset. For me, I disagree. It's horrendous pick. Terrible pick.
Couldn't agree more. With both of you guys.
I'll go.
All right.
I'll agree to the poll, but just because of this. Because if you were to take Hurts in the third, fourth, or one of your 3 fourth-round picks, I'm good with it. I agree with you guys. Yeah. I disagree with it in the second round. Everything you guys have already said, but I don't hate the fact that they got the guy that they want to use that way. I, of course, just hate the fact of where they got it. So, the fact with the poll being Jalen Hurts was a good pick, I'll agree just because I like the kid and I like what he could bring. But at 53, I completely disagree.
All right, I'll go. I'll disagree to where he was picked. I mean, you had a bunch of other talent. You had a guy like Jeremy Chin. You had Christian Fulton right there in your laps at 53. You should have taken one of those two players there. But if this was a fourth-round pick, had we known where Jake Fromm and Jacob Eason went, I would have been fine with taking Hurts in the fourth round of the draft. But piggyback off of Brian, this is probably a very elaborate chess move on Howie's part. I think this quarterback factory is more of let's get more picks out of Jalen Hurts. That's what I'm getting out of this quarterback factory. You're probably going to have him on the field to raise his stock a little bit. That's where we got that Taysom Hill on steroids, But once again, Taysom Hill and Jalen Hurts are two completely different players. I'm surprised that they're comparing them right now. Let's see what Hurts can do on the field. But for me, I think just having Hurts there for more picks just to build around Carson in the future.
But the thing with that, Frank,
it's like a car. It's like a car driving a car off the lot. It loses value the second you pick a guy.
That's what I'm saying. Howie Roseman is betting on himself right now. Because if you're going to run him out there and think that the value is going to keep on going up for him, it's not going to. He's betting on himself that he's going to get a better pick that he selected Jalen Hurts at. And there's no way that's happening, dude. Because everybody says, you could just trade him to Jacksonville. You could just trade him to Jacksonville,
right.
And
maybe he will
do that.
The best wide receiver in football went for a second. The best wide receiver in football went for a second.
So there's no way you're going to get the same value that you did with Jalen Hurts.
Guys lose value.
Than what you got him at, than what you did at 53. You're not going to get that pick back. You're betting on yourself, and it's a wrong bet to do.
And it's a huge gamble, and I agree that it is a very huge gamble. But if it pays off, it pays off. If it doesn't, well, somebody's going to be losing their job. So,
it doesn't have to come to that, no, because it doesn't have to come to somebody losing their job, Frank. Though, because if you think about it, if 11 don't come off the field, ain't nobody losing their job. So everybody's gooch, right? The problem is if 11 comes off the field, that's when somebody loses their damn job. If now they find out a guy can't play. That's when jobs start getting lost. and my expectations is 11's going to play.
Of course, Carson's going to be the guy.
Yeah, there's always concerns. That's what makes me hate the pick. But go ahead, finish.
I mean, Carson's going to be the guy, and I'm not saying, oh, Jalen Hurts is going to be the future, but Howie said on the radio that he wants to keep Carson as long as he can to like 40, 41, 42. So my real worry there is, all right, we can just trade Jalen Hurts for more picks. Just
Howie's not even going to be there for that long.
Yeah,
I know.
He's lying.
Yeah, if Howie's here for that long, I'm out. And let me tell you something. But why pick? Like you guys you just said what you had to say. There's too much talent on the board at that spot from big schools to say, you know what? I'm going to start my quarterback factory now. When the next quarterback wasn't selected for like 70-something.
Exactly.
It's a wasted pick. If it's crit fall,
I'm not a fan of the pick at 53.
Frank,
I was just as shocked as everybody else was.
If it's DK Dobbins or JK Dobbins, if it's anybody else that's a talent and can play right now, guy, then it's probably a great pick. But the fact that this guy runs away from big schools essentially all the time in value positions amazes me. How much in valuable positions he runs away from big schools. Is it me? Like, are we all watching him draft over year after year? The guy runs away from the SEC at times until late in the draft. Like
he tries to outthink the room. He's like, I'm going to find this hidden gem here. It's like, no, just go to the schools that actually can establish young talent into the NFL. It's not.
There's a reason why 14 LSU players got picked this year. That broke the record. I mean,
that you win.
So there's a reason why.
Yep, that helps winning. Jules, what do you got? I mean, I know what you got, but go ahead. The Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts was a good move.
I don't hate the move. I despise the move. Okay. And for anybody that agrees with the pick in the second round at 53, just tells me you're just a Wentz hater. You're just a pure Wentz hater, and you just love Nick Foles and still wish he was here. Okay. And all the Wentz haters have is that, he's injury prone. Okay. Well, I mean, if we look at it, is he really injury prone? I mean, the guy tore an ACL. Okay. That happens on a football field. It's a freak injury. All right. He had the broken ribs in his rookie year in the preseason. Okay. He does get hit in the pocket. Okay. That happens too. But nobody brings up the fact that he did play 16 games last year and went out with a concussion in the playoff game. Mm-hmm. And if anybody ever laced him up and played football, that concussion can happen at any point in the game, whether it's a dirty hit or not.
Jules, everybody wants to forget the 16 , right?
Everybody.
In the gender world.
Occasions where he played 16.
And everybody forgets the fact that he brought that team to the playoffs with a bunch of puppies that shouldn't even been on the field. Okay?
Who practice squad guys?
Other than maybe 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the league, Mahomes, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, who's doing that? Nobody.
Maybe Russell, maybe Wilson.
Nobody's doing that. And not to mention, everybody's so in a hurry to make, Hurts is definitely the number one backup going into the season. Okay, well, they're probably not going to have any training camp this year, all right, with the whole pandemic. They're probably not going to have any preseason. So how are you just going to throw him in there when the guy has no feel for the offense, no feel for the NFL? How can you just throw him in there? Okay, right now it's Nate Sudfeld. Whether you want to hear it or not, Nate Sudfeld is the backup quarterback going into the season. All right, so if you really want Carson Wentz hurt and Jalen Hurts on the field, so you can justify and prove it's all wrong, then there's something wrong with you, because I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs spending a second round pick on a quarterback, or the Baltimore Ravens or anybody else that has young franchise QBs spending a second round pick on a backup quarterback that's going to see the field maybe 5 plays a game, if that. Best case scenario is the guy never plays.
If you want to be a QB factory, don't trade the pick last year for Lamar Jackson then.
Exactly.
If you want to be this QB factory, you draft a guy who didn't come into play anyway. So if you want to be a QB factory, use the pick last year on Lamar Jackson then.
Well,
it's that simple. But you think that Jalen Hurts, because he's backed up before and one is a backup in a way that it's going to be this golden situation. You can develop him, and there's no pressure on Carson. But what it really tells me deep down is you don't believe in his health. You don't believe not only short term but long term in his health using a second round pick, regardless of the player. Now we look at the player. Is the player good enough? I don't know. Guy can move in the pocket. The league works. The league's good like that. He's athletic. Can he throw well enough? To me, not right now. Maybe he get better with that and get better arm strength? Maybe. Maybe. I don't got a crystal ball, but what I'll tell you is he can't make every throw right now. So
yeah, he's not as accurate as everybody thinks.
no, he's not accurate. He's not. He's played Oklahoma,
Right.
and had a great year. I think he got better. He got better throwing the football. I'll definitely give him credit that. He got better. So maybe he can get better, continuously get better throwing the football. But it's a wasted pick. All right. Unless you really truly believe that Carson Wentz, not that you don't believe he's not your franchise quarterback, but you believe he's not going to be healthy year in, year out. And what Howie Roseman said was that he doesn't believe that. Did you hear that, guys? He said he owes it to the fans. He owes it to the talent on this roster that if Carson does go down in a big game, that they have a capable backup that can go win him that game. He said it in the last thing I heard him talk about. He literally said it. So he's telling you
that he has no trust in Carson Wentz.
Yep. He doesn't deep down trust it. And guess what?
We had that last year.
Yep.
And we still lost.
So
to the to that group that thinks Jalen Hurts is winning that game last year.
No.
Yeah, still lost.
Not with the roster we had last year.
And I'll tell you exactly, and this is another reason why I don't
like. 2 years from now, can you win that game? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's not winning. He's not winning it as of like right now. He's not winning.
Right. He's not there.
This is how fucked up Howie is. Okay. And listen, I'm not the biggest Jameis Winston fan at all. Okay. But honestly, I'd much rather have Jameis Winston as the backup. I mean, did you see the contract he got with the Saints? $1.1 million. That's equivalent to like $100 in the NFL. That's fucking peanuts. And a guy that's had a little bit of success in the league. Okay, not great, but he's an NFL veteran. Okay, and he knows what the NFL was like and what he's getting himself into, especially on a time like we're doing right now.
I'll ask you guys this, okay?
Agree, Jules.
Yeah.
Now that we obviously, because Tom, you said it to where even though it's not this player that I'm about to mention, the narrative's still here. Now that it's another guy, it's obviously Hurts. If we knew they were going to be they're going to be going high investment into a quarterback, would you have rather have them just brought back Nick Foles? Because at least you know he can win in this system?
No, just rather than use the 3rd or 4th round pick and try to develop a guy that way if there's such a QB factor.
No. I'm saying it was either you're bringing back Foles or you're taking Hurts in the 53rd.
I'm out. See ya.
Oh yeah, I'll take Hurts in the 53rd then.
Okay.
Just because I can't do that again. And I love Nick at that. You understand? It's not about Nick. It's about the idiots. I could do it if that'd be even more disrespectful.
I agree.
So to me, it's not even close. This one's like if you use the first, it's you might as well came up and bitch slapped me when I wasn't looking. You know what I mean? If you use the second, you sort of come up and maybe you give me a little, a shoulder when I'm not looking. You know what I mean? You use a third, maybe it's like a baby push. You use a fourth, it starts not mattering. You understand? It's sort of how that game works for a quarterback. They claim they talked to Carson. I believe in my quarterback that he's not looking over his shoulder. I believe that what he did last year was build a trust in the locker room to not have to look over his shoulder. I think guys believe in him. I think anybody that comes in here younger and that believes, and that's my quarterback. And I think that from what we saw with playing with nobody at the skill position inside of Ertz and Miles in Dallas, we saw a guy rally with no wide receivers, essentially, and win big games. And that clinched the locker room for him. So the narrative anybody in that locker room could have went out the window, the day they went to the playoffs, right? And then it might be creeped in with the concussion, which created the Hurts pick, right? Because how he's scared. But in terms of the locker room, it clinched it. And I think he's more confident than ever. I think he's way more confident than ever. And I don't think Carson Wentz is looking over his shoulder at all. I expect a monster 2020 season for Carson Wentz. Monster. And I expect Deshaun Jackson to give me 14 weeks. You know why? You want me to tell you why? There's a lot. There's more talent here now. And we start bringing competition in. Guys got to work even harder.
Yep.
And they want to stay on the field more. And they'll play 14. They'll play 14.
I just
Brian
to book it.
Brian Tatar's comment up there before about, Hurts versus Jordan Love is completely spot on because at least the Packers, at least Aaron Rodgers is 33 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And you can
36,
sell
36
or whatever it is, right? But you can at least sell hey, we're going to potentially look to the future with a developmental guy. But yeah, Hurts at 53 just, we've said it a bazillion times, just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
I just can't get past the fact that they didn't say it with their words. They showed it with their actions that they would rather have Rager, but to Jalen, Rager and Hurts, than CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. Like, the fact that they were so hell-bent going into the draft because it was released.
Or DeAndre Hopkins.
Or that.
No, right. They settled. They settled for their second best because they claimed Rager was their second best and Jeudy was their first. So they settled for their second best. That's not what winners do. Winners do, you know what? Is how big is the separation gap between my 1 and 2, right? To me, it's pretty big right now. We'll see how it plays out. Doesn't mean I don't think Rager can be good. It's just a little bigger. But the separation is so big, it's a no-brainer, right, guys? Especially using the second-round pick on a backup quarterback.
And that's where you have to have an understanding of how the board falls to you. Because, Tom, you're exactly right. If your disparity between 1 and 2 are so drastic that you, quote-unquote, reach for 2, and if they think they got the guy, whatever, right? But if you can't see how a board falls to you, that disparity between 1 and 2 are so much different that you get gifted potentially another position right in your lap, and you still reach for your number 2, then what are you doing as a GM?
You have one of the worst general managers in football in terms of John Elway, in terms of what he's put product draft-wise. Not a good look.
I mean, the fact –
and Jerry Jeudy fell into his lap.
Mm-hmm.
So, you could have jumped him. You could have did some things there. You probably could have sold him on 21, and I don't think that conversation with Denver ever happened. I'm going to tell you that. Conversation with Denver never happened because, I don't think anybody thought Denver was going wide out.
Preach it, Keneal.
You know what I mean? I don't think anybody thought Denver was going wide out. And I don't think anybody, and then the Eagles got the call with their pants down twice in a row because I don't think they thought Dallas was going wide out. So what happened is they got caught because both teams have young wide receivers, right? So nobody thought they were going wide out. Nobody on mocks had them going wide outs. Okay, maybe Cowboy fans had CD, but that's it. Nobody on mocks had them two teams taking wide outs. What happened is when you're not aggressive, you can get caught with your pants down. And what happened on Thursday night is how he got caught with his pants down. And now Jalen Reagor's his number 2 wide receiver. That's fine. That's all well and good. Okay. But like the separation better be big. It better not be big like it is, like we have it. You know what I mean? They better value Jalen Reagor a lot higher than some of us do, even though I don't hate the pick at all. I think he can play. You know what I mean? But I just love Jerry Jeudy.
I'll give you guys this scenario too, because again, it came out that they were heading into the draft hell-bent on getting Hurts, to where basically under no circumstance they were getting rid of 53, which obviously plays into them not moving up to 16. Brian Attard says, it's shocking that they didn't move up to 16, to get either Jeudy or Lamb, or if they could pick the litter. I'll throw this scenario to you, and you tell me if this would have played out, if you think how he's making a move. Say, for example, Isaiah Simmons drops even further than he did, because I think we would all agree he dropped a little bit going all the way to 9 just because of how high we are on him as a player. And we know for a fact that linebacker is a big-time need, and he's kind of that hybrid-esque player, which obviously Schwartz and the defensive scheme obviously likes. Say, for example, he falls to 16.
No.
That's the right answer. I was going to say, you think Howie's trading up for him?
Anybody else? Feel free.
No.
No, I agree.
That's horrifying.
If Simmons traded up, if he fell to 16, am I trading up?
No. Do you think Howie is? Because in order for him to do that, he would have to give up 53, which they said they were never going to do.
Nope, he won it.
Which is horrifying.
If you didn't do it for Jerry Jeudy and you didn't do it for CeeDee Lamb, you weren't going to do it for Isaiah Simmons if he fell either.
Listen, I think it's simple as that.
Because we sit here all year, 16 weeks, and bitch and moan about Schwartz, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Schwartz with like a non-position player, like a hybrid type of guy? Like
and not in the third round.
We'd be all over.
Yeah,
we'd be all over that.
In the third round.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The guy's a 4th round talent. But let me say, the only way Carson ever gets, and Sweeps chimed in on this and is spot on, but the only way he ever gets a stigma is by winning one. All the haters and the dry jocks and the pocket protectors, the only way he gets over the stigma is by going win the Super Bowl himself. It's just the only way to do it. Now, to us, realists and guys who get the game, to us, what we did last year was a shut up the haters thing, and it just didn't work because of the postseason. But I don't know, guys. Tons of people were chiming in, and You know, CT Cowboys got better on offense. Sure, they did, but they're not good on defense, right?
Yeah, they're not. And plus, they're going to be dealing with a lot of cap issues on the long run. So, not too worried about Dallas, but I mean, it's only April. But
No,
there's
time.
Anything can happen. There's time. Anything can happen at this point.
And that's why we're going to have our little who we like in free agency still, who's out there of some vets in some positions that need that. We'll go over in a little bit of the show, but to read off some of the family, because I know we got a ton of chime in.
Yeah, everything's flying.
We don't want to leave anybody out, and I know we all got a lot to say too. So we bear with us. But Julio Vargas, I only think they would have traded up for Judy, dropping as a final big three receiver. Does that mean? I don't know. Sorry, Julio, say that one again. Tim Moran, Howie bombed again in the draft. Going to come away with maybe 2 starters if we're lucky. Tim, can't say it enough. You can't continue to come out of drafts with 1 impact guy, 1.5. You got to start landing some Pro Bowlers, some All-Pro guys. All right,
you have to.
You can't keep missing on the first round. You can't miss in the second continuously. You can't miss. You need Pro Bowl. You need impact guys in here immediately.
The talent that was still on the board at 53 was like something I never even seen before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, you would absolutely need to come away with an impact player there that helps your team week 1.
There's 4 guys.
Offense or defense. Offense or defense. It doesn't matter.
You could have went. You could have went
First
literally
round.
any direction.
Any, Greg, any. And even a GM executive guy even came out after the draft and said he's never seen so much talent in the second round than he's ever before. Like, there was so much talent in day 2 that you could have had a guy to step in week 1 and change your franchise still.
And even
AJ Espenza, J.K. Dobbins, Raekwon Davis, Van Jefferson, Denzel Mims,
Jeremy
Christian
Chin,
Fulton, John Uche. Like, you could have went any direction.
There's like 5 first-round talents.
Absolutely.
There at 53.
That was still there.
And you go gadget, and now want to create your factory.
You go
I
gadget.
continue to say this to the people. Stop letting Howie Roseman take credit for Andy Reid stuff. Please, stop it. Howie had no parts at a QB factory that was Andy Reid. All right? Now, Doug Peterson, yes. Howie Roseman, no. Okay? No. Zilch. All right? So when did Howie Roseman become this factory of quarterbacks? When? When did I miss it?
Yeah, and you know what else? You know what else is funny too, Tommy? That when we heard it the first year Carson Wentz got drafted, when Doug Peterson became the head coach, and the whole Carson's got 5 years to master this West Coast offense, and after those 5 years, he's gonna have it in full stride. Well, what's gonna happen with Jalen Hurts, right? If it's the same playbook, right? So if Carson took those 3 to 4 years to learn that playbook, the West Coast offense, how long do you think it's going to take Jalen Hurts? I'm not in the business anymore. If we're a win now football team, I'm not in the business for project guys anymore.
And
I need a guy that can step in day 1 and change his franchise around.
And it makes so much sense because that guy from the Ravens, who's now like the advisor in the offense, it makes so much sense because they see the Lamar Jackson success. But again, I'll say this again. Lamar Jackson is so exciting. We know this, okay?
He runs a 4-2. He's running like a 4-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not. I'm not saying he's an accurate quarterback at all, but he's got a way better arm.
Yes, and on top of that, what is Lamar Jackson won in the playoffs? If unless I'm watching the wrong games, I'm just looking at the wrong TV. I'm pretty sure the second Lamar Jackson the last 2 years, not just one, the last 2 years, especially last year, coming off of an unbelievable MVP season, that special offense and that special player has absolutely disappeared in the playoffs.
Two guys have really won in the postseason by running around, really, from what we've seen. And it's Russell Wilson, okay, but still throws, even though he runs all around.
Yeah, because
I'll give you a third, Cam.
And he's got a cannon, essentially, especially on the deep. Okay, but runs all around, and the same with Mahomes. But neither are running like for 100 yards a game. You understand? Mm-hmm. So the running for 100 yards a game quarterback, that's all fun and exciting, but it's never won. Never saying it won't, but as of right now, it hasn't. Listen, things change. It can happen, but that's not the guy, man. A 6'1" guy. What do you reinvent a wheel? Your starting quarterback is 6'5". He might even be like 6'8". He's gigantic. Okay, and your other and you know your factory is going 6'1", lucky, tippy toes. You know what I mean? That doesn't have the arm strength of any of these quarterbacks that people are going to compare him to, that's a difference maker.
Yeah,
go ahead, Greg.
No, I was going to say, like, the QB factory, the only one that succeeded was Nick. And Nick was a veteran. And Nick, everywhere else he went, he stunk. So he's come here to a comfortable situation. And I remember we even talked about it when he started to come in.
About it. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that. He's trying to talk. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about it. That's a great point, Greg. I didn't even think about it.
What?
That he's really taking the credit for Nick. I see what he's doing.
And coming down the stretch of that season, we were like, I gave Doug a whole lot of credit for reinventing the offense around Nick because he wasn't Carson. And that was the only reason we were able to get through, and obviously win the Super Bowl. But that's the only quarterback that was developed outside of our first round guy.
Facts.
So that's what he's taking credit for. He's going to take credit for Nick Foles and the development of Nick Foles. He wasn't even here really for the development of Nick Foles, right? That was
under Chips when he went 26-2, 26 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
I'm telling you, guys.
And then a collarbone injury later, he was out of there.
and then he's getting ready to retire before Andy brought him back.
Yeah, we got to stop talking about him. We got.
Marquise has a good. That comment's golden. That's amazing. How he watched the offense kick or throw a touchdown on us and said to himself, "Gadget."
Well, again, why are we modeling the offense after a friggin' like the Saints with Taysom Hill? I'm pretty sure the Saints got eliminated the same day we did last year in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be Taysom Hill. If he Taysom Hill, he stinks.
And again, why? Like, I completely understand everyone saying, "Oh, the league is always changing." I completely understand that, but why do we need to be the one that needs to reinvent the wheel? Why? We're not a rebuilding team. We had the formula. We won a damn championship 3 years ago. That's the formula. Good quarterback play and healthy players. What are we talking about? We need to have 2 quarterbacks on the field and this guy running backwards up the side. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? We had the most traditional offense in the league 3 years ago with a backup quarterback, and we won. Why are we going go gadget? Why? Makes 0 sense to me.
Because we got speed.
It's like the friggin' Top Gun. Got the need for speed.
Yeah, no, guys, listen. It's speed was added, right? We can all agree there. Okay, speed was added to this roster.
Yeah.
Now,
there's no denying that.
If we like the picks or don't like the picks, is a different story that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But speed was definitely added, and I think we can all agree with listen. We've been saying speed wins for years. I mean, that's not new, right?
Yeah, and take a look at last year with Kansas City; they won with speed. So
no, and it's a copycat.
It's a copycat. But knowing Doug and what this new offensive scheme is going to be placed out, we might be seeing something different from Kansas City. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what this offense is going to be next season.
And I'm telling you, his hot plan is, we're going to have 2 guys. We're going to have Wentz and we're going to have Hurts, and one of them is not going to be on the roster in 2 years. And it's horrifying. It's horrifying because it's just outthinking the room. We don't need to do this now. We can. Why not help to a million comments that are correct? Why can't we help the quarterback that we have get better? Why do we need to develop 3 guys behind him who we hope will never play?
Well, that's the disappointing thing. The first round pick was to make your quarterback better. Yep. The first round pick was to try to put weapons around your first round, your franchise quarterback that you paid boatloads of dollars to. That's what the first round pick was for us. So we felt like we just keep getting lied to, right? On terms of that they just don't believe in it. I mean, it's as simple as that. They just don't truly buy in and believe that Carson Wentz is going to be healthy. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. They can sell you on whatever other stuff they want to sell you on. They don't fully believe it. It's that simple. It truly is. So, I mean, listen, and I get the need to develop quarterbacks and always have a guy there. I just didn't think it was going to be that pick. I think we all talked about it. If it was 3rd round, 4th round,
right,
it just makes the pick feel a little bit different and means it was used when there's 5, 6, as Ralphie, Jules, and Greg alluded to, 6, 7 first-round possible talents on the board, impact guys. J.K. Dobbins comes in and gives you thunder, lightning. So I mean, you want that. If you want to add to a position, how about bring back freaking Corey Clement, who stinks. Okay, now I don't want to care. Hey, listen, this is my Glassboro peeps. I am sorry, but stinks at this level. So knock it off. All right, he's banged up all the time too. It ain't a shot at the kid. When he was healthy in 2017, he could play a little bit. He's never going to be a starting back. He's not. He's never going to be that guy. And you had talent at the running back position right there as a backup. But you don't want to invest in that. You want to invest in your backup quarterback. Tells me you don't trust your backup quarterback, right? But your running back, remember when he started getting big time carries, was getting banged up. You'll forget that. So Bullets and Scott Corey come in. And for the Jalen Hurts people, I just want to make sure you're good with that. Confirm with me tonight that you're okay with that when Miles Sanders goes down for a week, maybe 2, because running backs get banged up all the time. So you're okay with that, or what won in 2017, honey? Why don't you guys tell me that? Not only a backup quarterback was helpful, but a great running game, a great running attack, and a defense that can get after the quarterback. Okay, so it's a wasted goddamn pick in the second round. If you're a factory, you can draft them anytime. All right, if you're a factory, Nate Sudfeld should be able to play. If you're a factory, the pick last year, I don't even remember his damn name.
Clayton Thorson.
Yep, it doesn't matter his name. That's the point. Okay, if you're a factory is all about development. All right, so this is a disgrace when these people will pick one side, but they don't see the rest of the roster.
Don't forget about McGloin too.
J.K. Dobbins comes in here in this offense. How are you guys creating this offense today with J.K. Dobbins? The people out there, I'm not asking you guys because I already know your answer. I'm asking them. I'm asking the haters. How you grade this offense with J.K. Dobbins too and Miles Sanders, a combo?
You know what they would say, Tom? You know what they would say? Oh, well, getting a running back isn't necessary. We already have a running back. But then they're going to say getting a quarterback is necessary, even though we already have a quarterback. Well, see how that works?
Well, Detroit, who didn't value the running back position for years. All right, I've already had Mr. Johnson, who I love, an SEC cat, and they went right back to the SEC for Mr. Swift. All right, so you tell me that second-round pick and maybe a third, or one of your fourths, or maybe 2 of them can't get you up there to get an explosive playmaker. Okay,
what won us the Super Bowl? What won us the Super Bowl?
What'd you say?
I said, what won us the Super Bowl?
Running
three-headed monster,
quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Lord Walker,
and a healthy roster.
Lord Walker, I get the Philly. Lord Walker, I get the Philly special thing, but it was one play. You know what I'm saying? I get the Philly special.
No, I mean I won't say it's traditional because it was really like a read option in terms of run throw.
It wasn't go-go gadget though. It wasn't
go-go gadget. Never been go-go gadget. They're not going to be go-go gadget with Jalen Hurts. Whoever's putting that out there is false information and lies. They're not bringing him in to be a gadget guy. They're bringing him in to develop him as a quarterback. That's what the GM told me. So Bryce Taylor might lose his job now then, or whatever other idiots are saying this.
Just like the reports, the reports coming up to the draft saying that CeeDee Lamb is Howie's guy and he'll do whatever it takes to get up and get him.
Yeah.
That's what they fed us.
We got food on that, Jules.
I'd much rather have that be true.
But he didn't want to give up that second round pick.
Go back. You're right, Jules. He didn't want to give it up for any of that. Oh, Marquette, we have Elijah Holyfield. He runs a 4.9, but his dad's a legend, so we all set. This is the
SEC.
You got these guys in groups. That's the problem with some of Eagles Nation. You got guys in groups, and some of them are hopped on the wagon in 2017 and are still here. Mm-hmm. All right, these are the idiots, a lot of them. Or they're a 1-for-4 guy, or they're maybe like a 2. They're not even a 2-for-4 guy. They're like 1-for-4 guys. Where they hate everything else about Philadelphia, but they like the Eagles. This is what you're getting. That are never from here. This is sort of what you get, right? With the idiots. That's how I always judge the idiots. I can smell an idiot because an idiot's no way a 3-for-4 guy or a 4-for-4 guy. Usually, no way. This is what we learn. This is what we learn, boys.
Oh, Elijah Holyfield.
I think he's joking, by the way, but either way.
No, he's definitely joking.
Okay, but he ain't joking about the 4.9 though. He really does run like a 4.9.
Yeah, no,
he's too smart to not be joking.
No, this is what people want to do. There, they want to crown backups. I see people crowning undrafted free agents. Like, wow.
Line up on Broad Street because we got Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah,
guy's not even gonna make the roster.
Wait, you guys? Wait.
Literally, guys, he ran a 4.27 at the combine 7 years ago.
You're telling me you guys didn't reserve your spots yet on Broad Street?
No, I did not. Not yet.
Oh, so I waited in that line, not 6 feet apart for nothing.
So what was the point? What was the point of bringing in Marquise Goodwin if you're going to draft
insurance,
probably insurance, maybe
low risk, high reward. See if he can stay healthy because he has speed.
But Jules, why would you go use all them other picks?
That's what I'm saying. Why would you go use all them other picks for the same player?
I'll tell you exactly why. And
and none of them can probably run a route. None of them can probably get separation on a 3rd and 10 across the middle on a dig route.
It's so counterintuitive because you guys are absolutely right. They got Goodwin, all right, for insurance, but they got Hightower and all the other guys for insurance for Goodwin. So they got insurance for some guy who they brought in as insurance. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's all like
the thing that pisses me off too is that it just showed that Howie valued Jalen Hurts over CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy to even move up. Because that night happened. Jerry went obviously 15 to the Broncos, and then you were sitting there at 16, and obviously you didn't trade up for 16. Lamb goes 17 to the Cowboys, and then the next day you find out that they weren't willing to give up 53, and then Friday comes, and they wake up and say, you know what? If Jalen's there, he's my guy. It just blows my mind. Just blows my mind.
We don't even know for sure if he had Hurts number 1 on his board.
Yeah.
We don't know that for sure because we know you can't take a quarterback in the first round because he would have been crucified right there. So you're going to take one in the second round, which it's bad, but it's not as bad as taking one in the first round. But taking him at 53 just means that you had him valued over all them other receivers.
Yeah. And all those playmakers that were still on the board. Like if you got the 53, right?
It really is something.
And that also tells me that Howie has no pulse for talent, okay, when the draft comes. Because he sat there at 53 and saw Christian Fulton there, Jeremy Chin was there, J.K. Dobbins was there. Great talent still at 53. And you went with Jalen Hurts. To me, that tells me you have no pulse for talent, brother, when it comes to draft time. Free agency, you spend them big bucks. You're good with the money. But when it comes to draft time, it's like you don't know what the hell you're doing, dude.
All these other teams, they just let the board fall to them, let the talent fall.
Yeah.
Look at the Giants. Okay, they could have took Simmons at 4 or top. They went to offensive lineman. Smart move. Then at the second round, Xavier McKinney dropped to, McKinney's here? Okay, we'll take him.
Yeah.
Joe Douglas with the Jets.
Yeah. Look at the Cowboys, right? The Cowboys got to go
second round. Oh, okay.
We knocked the Cowboys. Okay. We knocked the Cowboys for being rivals, and we do it all the time. But they had a tremendous draft. Why? Because they played their board right. They had guys fall to them, and they didn't overthink it.
No, you're right. And guess what? I mean, you sort of want to go off of what they did in the first round. Then you look at a guy like Christian Fulton in the second round and you say, okay, if you want to add in Darius Slay into this draft as like a draft pick since we traded one for him, then go ahead. So you got yourself a corner. Great.
Yeah.
But you just saw what the Cowboys did. And they said, you know what? We're going to hit you with 3 then. And so now you have to go change up some of your thought process and work on the fly and say, you know what? We like Christian Fulton. I know we like Jalen Hurts a lot. Maybe we can use some of our 4th round picks to maybe get him in the 3rd then, if that's the direction you want to go, and go get a guy up in the 1st or 2nd round where these guys have a better opportunity to pan out. Go get guys from big-time schools because they're probably coached better. You know what I mean? And if you do that in later rounds, you'll probably have a better success rate of hitting on guys. Make sense? Because you want guys coached up that played at these big SEC schools because they're coached right. So to me, Christian Fulton's a no-brainer there. Play a chess match with the Cowboys and say, okay, you want to go CeeDee Lamb and jump us? Good. We're going to go Christian Fulton in the second round, and now we have Slay, Fulton, and Sidney Jones as our outside guys.
Yeah.
And now we can hang with you and cover with you.
That's Howie's day 2 drafting. Howie's day 2 drafting was horrendous to even begin with. It started with 53, and at 103, you took a project guy that Chuck's told us he was supposed to go. He was late 5th round, early 4th round guy. Like, the reaching that he did on day 2 was absolutely horrendous.
Draft, Ralph. You can like Jalen Reagor or not, but you reached 6 picks on him. I don't care what anybody tells me. It's still a little bit of a reach. You reach on Jalen Hurts. You reached on the 3rd round pick. So now people are like, oh, I give his day 3 a day 3 grades an A. Dude, day 3 grades. Are we really grading day 3 grades? You expect day 3 guys to come and be productive? Get a clue, right? It's about the first and second round. You got to nail them picks.
You have to.
They have to be nailed. Yep. It can't be misses. Misses make you sit with us. And and Howie's my guy. He's won a Super Bowl here. I've always had issues with him in the draft, and it seems like, to miss to continue, he has to hit this year, and he better hope for his sake that Jalen Reagor is a flat-out pimp, because it'll make up and hide the Jalen Hurts a little bit. He better hope Reagor can freaking flat-out play day 1, because then it'll hide. It'll hide the second-round pick a little bit. Make sense, guys? But he better hope that Sidney Jones isn't banged up. You better hope Sidney Jones can play, because you could have Christian Fulton here and you had a little insurance policy.
And Jules, go ahead, Tommy.
Valladares for center
from Wisconsin.
Okay, but we can move
Seumalo
to center in the future if needed. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I mean, there was some things going on when Seumalo was drafted that he could play center as well. So Seumalo is an insurance policy right there. In the case if Kelsey gets injured or retired.
Right, and I guess with us going Driscoll as opposed to, Valladares from Wisconsin, and then giving the Cowboys our pick next so they can draft him, leads me to read into it and say, you're good with Seumalo, and then Driscoll and or Prince and or whatever you have on your roster will just be plugged in at guard to then take over.
Yeah.
I know a couple years ago, though, I know Seumalo was struggling at center, which I think a lot of us led us to believe that, hey, it's probably better for us to draft a center and then, play off of that than try and make somebody a center. Because I guess now we're a center factory now.
Exactly, Prism. Exactly. Especially when you look at the injury history of the last 2-3 years of cornerbacks.
Yeah. And Jules has been talking about
Tom, how many times do we say that? You can never have enough good young corners in this league.
Never. I want to listen. People were crowning this cornerback not class, but what we had last year. You know what I mean? These idiots like the Cravion LeBlanc. Stop it!
Oh my gosh!
Stop it! I want puppies in here. I want ball hawks. I want guys who the football finds them. That's what I need in my secondary. I need an injection of youth in my secondary as well, and speed. Okay? And you had it on the board at 53, and you decided to go with a backup quarterback because you're this factory now, and you owe it to everybody because you believe your quarterback's going to get hurt. And to the guy saying, Andrew Gildia says, I hope you guys don't trust Sudfeld like it sounds like you guys do. I don't think anybody's saying that. I don't trust – I got to trust my quarterback that I pay big-time money to. All right? So you trust Jalen Hurts a ton? I mean, I don't trust either one.
I mean, the hypothetical gun to my head right now, just because he's been in the system, I lean more Sudfeld, but it's not anything long term. We saw that last year with McCown. That's why McCown came in and automatically, with no recollection of our specific playbook, jumped him right away. Yeah. But back to the quarterback thing. I look at two teams who I believe had better drafts than we did. You look at the Cowboys and you look at the Miami Dolphins. They both, especially in the second round, Cowboys took Trayvon Diggs 2 or 3 picks right before us.
Yep.
Right? And then the end of the first round, the Dolphins took Noah, however you say that last name, as a quarterback with Byron Jones and Xavier Howard on the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 studs.
So they have 3 potentially starter type of, cornerbacks, and they couldn't get enough.
Can't copy the Chiefs.
A lot of nickel and dime packages in the NFL nowadays. Okay, you don't see a lot of the old school 3-4-4-3. A lot of five DBs in the field.
Yeah, well, I do like. I mean, I forgot for a second because we're so drafted up, but Roby Coleman, I love that addition. I think huge. So I mean,
and he can play your slot.
Yeah,
that's the slot guy.
He's probably the best slot guy in football.
Absolutely,
arguably the best slot guy in football. But I love it because now you can cover more. But you can't copycat the Chiefs and the likes if you can't stop them. Make sense? So you're still going to be able to stop them. Right now, I think we can stop teams in our secondary right now. Would I've loved another pick there? Yeah, because it just makes this deeper. But I still believe right now, we're the team to beat in the NFC East. I truly believe that. We were the team to beat with practice squad guys. So, I mean, we're better. We're better today and healthier today when we were, week 17 last year. So, as of right now, I mean, no matter how good the Cowboys draft was, we're still the team to beat right now.
Now, which pick would you guys say, and this is for the chat too, which one would you say is your favorite pick out of the entire draft?
Oh, I have to pick one.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? I'll go a little outside the box. I will say the if you want to call it a reach, whatever you want to call it, I'll go with Davion Taylor because the more I've been able to watch a little bit of him, I do like the hybrid of him.
He can't stick. He can't stick.
Sticky in the freaking mouth. And what I always preach in my secondary or my linebackers, I want guys who can run, and I want guys who will smack you in the mouth and can tackle in the open field. So important. Jules, we talk about the reasons for success and stuff, boys, for a Super Bowl run, and we leave out our secondary flat out tackled everything. There was no extra yardage. There was no big plays. You would get chunks against us, but we would end up stopping you in the red zone.
Brandon Cooks is still dead.
And the only reason I don't say Reagor is because I'm not going to go in the first round as my favorite pick because I wanted other receivers. But I do like Jalen Reagor, but I don't think he's not my favorite pick because I want to be good on the defense side of the ball. Watch his kid go stick people. Tell me you don't like him a little bit. All right, and that's my favorite pick.
I think my favorite pick is Kayvon Wallace from Clemson.
Yep,
man.
that's mine.
The
Yep.
safety.
That was mine as well.
Who does that boy flick on his tape whenever you get a chance, Tommy?
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
That's a big school too. Clemson. That's not a small school.
That dude gets around. You want to talk about a dude that loves to hit, Tommy? That dude loves to hit.
I can't even tell you this right now, but I actually just didn't even that was my guy I had in the third round in the mock draft. Remember?
Yeah.
Same.
And I love Kayvon Wallace, and I actually just drew a blank on him. So that's a great name. It's a great name.
Yeah, you want to talk about a guy that wants to get his beak wet, man. That's the dude
Yeah.
right there.
I mean, even his social media presence, he's got that moxie. He's got
Yes,
a
sir.
big fan in Brian Dawkins. He's going to fit in just fine in Philly.
Jules, to your point too, because I remember on your top 5, your do's and don'ts from a couple shows ago.
Yeah.
What was one of them? We agreed. I think we all like Jalen Mills here, but again,
Don't rely on Jalen Mills.
and it does two perfect things too. And again, I'm not expecting Kayvon Wallace to come in and be the best friggin' player at his position. No, but it does two things in a spot where some people say he shouldn't have even been available at the time. Number one, he's another option. Say, for example, Mills struggles, and two, he's somebody that you groom to either replace either Mills or Rodney, because again, they're both on 1-year deals.
Okay, but a little bit of a hybrid too, where he can play, where he can cover well.
Like a nickel.
Yeah, the one thing I like about Kayvon now, I mean, I still think the only reason he went in the 4th is because DBs dropped in general.
Yep.
In the draft, so that dropped his value a little bit. I still don't think he's a come in and play right now guy. I don't think you want that day one. I think he's a guy that obviously needs some polishing. The only reason I went Davion Taylor because I think he'll play day one because of the need in that position of that outside linebacker hybrid guy out there. I think he'll play day one more than Kayvon will just because of the need. That's the only reason because I think we'll see him day one. Where some of these other guys we might not see more than special teams day one. But Kayvon Wallace, great name.
Great name, great player.
Yeah. Jules, what about you? Favorite pick?
Oh, absolutely. Kayvon Wallace.
Mr. Milakovic, I feel like he's got a smirk. I feel like he's going one of the undrafted
on Wallace.
It's bad.
His Jalen Hurts.
It's bad that we're all picking 3rd or 4th round players as our favorite pick.
I know, but
let's continue.
Yeah, I want to get around. I want to try and buy into Davion Taylor, but he's one of the guys I don't know if he makes the team outside of just he's a need, right? You know what I mean? That's how much of a reach I thought he was.
Knowing what the linebackers we had, he's probably going to be starting.
Correct, right? Outside of need, I was just like, yeah.
No,
I like Wallace. I do like the kid from Temple just because.
Make the team.
South Jersey.
Can you stop for a second? Make the team. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Joking.
I know.
Because he's that much of a reach.
It's reach for who? Who said it's a reach so much? Because he's supposed to be 4th round, he went 3rd. It's at that point of the draft, it's all up for what?
No, to me, he was because there was better linebackers available.
Oh,
at that spot.
Nobody's saying that, but I don't think there's a linebacker available of that speed there, what they were looking for.
No, but that's also kind of what scares me about him is because he's more of a hybrid, not a true quote-unquote linebacker.
Yeah,
type
He's
of thing.
223, though. He's
too
223.
too big for a safety and too small for a backer.
Yeah.
That's the knock on him.
Yeah, but he's 223. In this league, 223 with the front you have can play linebacker.
You can. No, you can. He's a dime. Yeah,
Well,
he's a dime linebacker.
that's what Patrick Queen was. Patrick Queen was 225, 227
I mean, you got
coming in.
put on 10. He's going to
Put on
5.
10, Greg.
Starts. He'll put on 5. And so, I mean, I just think he has to play right away. It doesn't mean he's going to be a good player. I just think he has to play right away. We're going to find out.
God makes a good point. God makes a very good point.
Oh, listen, this is why I'm not sold on Jalen Reagor. I can't be. That's why he's not my favorite player.
I don't know, Tanya. I saw you coming around a little bit.
A little bit.
You were coming around a little bit.
Well, that's because of the Hurts pick, because we compared the Hurts pick. We're like, it's not as bad as the Hurts pick.
That makes me worried about the Reagor pick even more, though.
Well, I said that already. Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I completely agree with you. It makes me scared of that pick.
How do you guys feel about John Hightower?
Whatever. How can I feel about
receivers? I gotta love Grandma on that one.
I mean, Grandma was great.
Grandma stole the draft right there.
Yeah.
Forget Belichick's dog. It was Hightower's grandma.
Does he make the team?
He may.
You know what I mean?
I think he makes the team.
Well, right now we got 14. We got 14 wide receivers on this roster. So
Yep.
that's out of the 53.
Okay, so how many are you going to keep active on game day? 5?
72.
5? Okay, so you say Alshon is still here. Just hypothetically, Alshon is still here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Alshon, you got Deshaun, you got JJ. You can't get rid of JJ.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not going to, yeah.
Okay, so Marquise Goodwin, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
And then you got Watkins, Hightower, Greg Ward, Reagor. I mean, come on. I mean, there's just too many names. So them guys that were picked in the last couple of rounds, they're not even gonna make the team.
It's going to be tough for him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Hightower has a semi-chance to make the team, but
I mean, I like the speed.
Watkins probably doesn't make this team.
Watkins probably doesn't make the team.
I like the speed that both Hightower and Watkins bring. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to me, and again, I'm not sitting here and saying I watched a whole bunch of Southern Miss and Boise State games, but it's like they bring speed. But to your point early on is what can they do outside of just running by somebody?
Can they run routes?
I'm not too familiar with either. So I'm not going to sit here and think that I am. But if they're going to make the team, they seem too small to play special teams, at least from the gunner position.
These aren't the pack, the pack corners, the Big 12 corners, the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, don't get up in your mitt.
This is the NFL. They're going to get up in your face and they're going to play 10 to 12 yards off because they know that's all you have is speed. Okay, yeah, we'll give up the short slant, we'll give up the hitch, we'll make the tackle in front. Next play.
Yeah, but now if Alshon's not going to be on IR the entire year, they're not going to pay him the sit him down when he's healthy.
Oh, no,
he'll be on pup. He'll be on the pup.
They're going to want him to play. So I mean, again, that means that Greg Ward. So Hightower's making the team over Greg Ward. I find that hard to believe as that deep of a wide receiver. Like I just find it hard to believe. He gave you some NFL production. You're not asking him to be your one anymore. You know what I mean? Like you were.
And also, I just think the way this is going too, where with the whole there might be no preseason, there might be no training camps. You might even see guys that were originally with the team that have let go come back on cheaper deals because they know the whole system. They know the ins and outs of the team. I just think that's a route that some teams can go as well.
No, Ralph, you're absolutely right. You have to take that into account because you're right. Even if there is something, right, where everyone's together, it's going to be limited in a sense of either a time or, a longevity worth, length of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody asked earlier.
Yeah, no, Reagor. I know what Reagor went against at practice, but I don't think we're not talking about Reagor making the team or his impact. We're talking about these.
Oh, if Reagor doesn't make the team, then now he's got to go.
Who do you go to?
What's his name?
What was the question, Jules?
I was reading one of the comments.
It wasn't a first round corner. It was that.
That's where he lost me.
He lost me at first round. There wasn't a first round corner taken from TCU, but there was
Gladney.
Yeah.
Oh, Gladney. No, okay. Yeah, no, he was a first rounder. He's right.
Yeah.
Late first round. He's right. I completely forgot about Gladney. Completely forgot.
Brian, I don't think Jacksonville does that. Because A, they had the chance to draft him. Yep. B, they drafted a quarterback late. I'm not saying he's better than Hurts.
Yeah.
And C, they're completely okay with sucking this year so that they can have a chance at drafting Trevor Lawrence next year.
Yep.
They would
Absolutely.
sign Cam Newton or Andy Dalton before they did that.
And that's what people don't understand.
They're going to win with Gardner Minshew. Or
Yeah.
they think that, and they're not delusional.
And
So-
that's what people don't understand either is where, you saw the Colts that were in front of us. They need a quarterback because they only have Phillip Rivers on the contract for 1 year, right? So then you also have the Jacksonville Jaguars who were in front of us as well. They could have taken Jalen Hurts in the second round, but they didn't. And that's what people need to understand is that why would Jacksonville trade Yannick here to just get Jalen Hurts when they could have just selected him before us? That would make no sense to do.
That trade's out the window, Ralphie, unless it's next year.
Absolutely.
Unless it's for next
Absolutely.
year. It's out the window for anything that was already picked. It's completely out the window. There's zero shot. And no, JD White, we're not judging a player strictly by what team he played on. We're talking about that. All Greg said is you could look at where you're going up against. And yes, I think teams in the NFL value the SEC a little bit more than they value the smaller conferences. So I think that's factual. I think they favor all the big conferences.
The level of talent is just a little bit different than the SEC.
Yeah, and even in the Big Ten, Big 10, Big 12, it's better competition than the smaller conferences.
Yeah.
So there's
If you want to go do some homework, JD, if you want to go do some homework, go back and find me a TCU wide receiver.
I'll wait
as well.
You got LaDainian Tomlinson at the running back position.
But that's exactly all we can go off of when these guys are coming out of college.
I know.
Is who they played for and where they played. You heard nobody sit there and claim that Rieger can't catch because his quarterback stink. You know what I mean? Like none of us said that.
Comment of the night.
God, on Eagles stuff.
And he says, "I am just a man from Delco." Ralph.
I love it.
Just a savior.
So I got the Eagles wide receivers currently on the roster in front of me. If we would like to go through this real quick.
Oh, sure.
Jalen Reagor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Are we staying on the team? Are we doing that?
Yeah. Do yes or no? Yes or no? Or no? Let's do locks. Locks to be on the team.
Josh Dobson, come on, he stinks. Don't give me that.
Jalen Reagor,
Lock.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside,
Lock.
Quez Watkins.
Hold on. The board's got a lock, right?
No.
On J.J.?
Well, that's ridiculous, Ryan.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude.
That's the most ridiculous statement because you don't like him.
You can't get rid of.
I'll have him as the lock.
Thank you, Frank.
Frank, you're saying actually you don't want to get yelled at. That's why you're saying it.
No.
You don't want to get yelled at, Frank.
I'm just hesitant on it.
God damn it!
You guys, you're worse than Howie is then. Because listen, you can't be hesitant on a guy you just picked in the second round. You want to talk to me next year? Talk to me next year then.
Yeah.
But this year, he's making this team.
I don't care if
hands or butts. He's making his team. You want to talk to me next year? If there's no production, we'll talk. We'll absolutely. The door goes wide back open. Right now, the door's shut. Office is closed. We're not talking about him not making a team. He's a flat out lock. He's a lock over. He's more of a lock than Alshon Jeffrey to be on this team.
Wow. Yeah, Alshon.
I'm not an Alshon guy at all.
No, I'm just saying.
Right, are you more thinking trade?
No, I'm just saying he stinks.
Well, okay.
Who's trading for him?
I know. I would buy him more if like maybe he was a trade just to kind of we got.
No, if I was saying no, he's getting a trade, then that's outlandish.
It's sad though, but you can't. I understand what you're saying. I understand your frustration. It's just you can't do it at the wide receiver. You can't. You got to be careful with the wide receiver position by judging too quickly. That's all. Because a guy can come out and catch 50 balls this year, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, where did he come from?" You know what I mean? It happens. It does. Not saying it's going to happen with him. I don't know. He had every opportunity to do it last year, but it became overwhelming. So go ahead, Greg. So we got some of us got
JJ
so far.
Quez Watkins.
No.
No. Wouldn't it be someone if I said lock to him? Wouldn't it be someone if I said lock there?
Yeah. Could have got ugly in here.
Yeah.
Robert Davis.
No.
Lock.
No.
Alshon.
Lock.
No.
Deshaun.
Lock.
John Hightower.
No.
Lock.
I like him, but no. Wait, who said lock?
Frank did.
Really? I like him, but no. I with no training camp, I can't do that.
No.
I love the kid, but no.
Nope.
Shelton Gibson.
No.
No.
Hell no.
River Craycraft.
No.
No,
No,
what
that's
the
a
hell?
name.
The
I'm
Great
in on the
name.
name.
Great name.
Next.
Manasseh Bailey.
No.
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 Greg Ward.
Yes.
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 Marquise Godwin.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Goodwin.
No. No.
Yes.
Goodwin.
No.
Yes.
Why? Why do they need to say yes to him? It's a no risk deal. It's the same thing as the Corey Clement contract.
So yes. Move on, Greg.
Okay, 100
Deontay
catches
Burnett.
in 7 years.
Who?
No.
Deontay Burnett.
Oh my God, no.
No.
Marcus Green.
No.
No.
Oh my God, no.
That's right.
And Markin Michelle.
No.
Those are the 15 wide receivers we have right now.
I mean, lock this guys in.
Christ.
I have 3.
Oh, nice. That's nice. 3.
3 locks, and then you're gonna have a molding. You're gonna have a molding formation on who plays well.
I have 5 locks, and then if they're going to go 6, then there's your extra spot maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a guy like Hightower has to make the team. I have 5 locks, so because I think Marquise Goodwin makes the team too, just because they brought him in as a vet, and they want some vets out there. They don't want all young kids. They don't want to go that route yet, so they're trying to bridge a gap. So maybe Hightower makes it, and they keep 6,
Yeah.
but they're not, or maybe
And not have him dressed every game.
The problem though is when you
probably go on your practice squad. They're going to try to hide them on their practice.
That's true. Yes,
but where the issue, and I don't, Tom, you're exactly right. But the issue is then JJ, Goodwin, Hightower, Rieger. Which one of those is playing special teams? These speed guys, these small, speedy guys. Which one of them are playing special teams?
JJ probably.
It's probably going to be Rieger.
It'll probably be like, it might even be like a Greg Ward playing some special teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe, that becomes a big role on his as that extra wide receiver, just to do a little bit of everything role.
Right.
But I think you're going to, I think JJ Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor and Deshaun Jackson are going to be on the field early together. Especially if Alshon's not there, and likes like Greg Ward. I mean, I think that, Marquise Goodwin mixed in. I think that's the direction they're going to go with some comfortability too. But Deshaun, your vet, your first round pick, and then your guy you invested a second round pick in, because you're all in on second round picks. You invested in a quarterback factory, so you better be in on JJ Arcega-Whiteside. But right now, Howie Roseman, so I think he's going to get every chance to try to play. You know what I mean? And I think that's the direction they go. And then some of these other guys maybe come in and maybe win a job or whatever.
Greg, God wanted us to do the linebacker list. Do you have that?
I do.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
So current, this is obviously current starters.
Me.
Nate Gary on the outside.
There we go, baby. Nate Gary. Let's
TJ
go.
Edwards in the middle.
Greg's boy, TJ, captain of the defense.
Duke Riley on the other outside.
Oh yeah.
By the way, didn't we give up like a 6-rounder next
Shut up,
last year?
Ralph. We don't need to hear this again.
We gave up that.
Oh, Joey definitely wants to
we
hear
gave
Ralph.
We
We
gave up.
gave up Jonathan
Cyprien.
Cyprien. Yeah, Cyprien. Yeah.
Duke can play some good. Duke's a good special teamer, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, special teams, fine.
Yeah.
Then next behind that, Jatavius Brown on the outside.
Is that the guy from the Chargers?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, he's on this football team. He's gonna be
Jesus, I hope so.
a starter.
Sean Bradley, not the basketball player.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, hometown kid,
I
went to
guess
Temple.
He's more of a middle guy than anything else. Other, you know what I mean? That's where they have him slot his middle.
15 minutes that way from where I live.
Yeah, but you have just a bunch of, again, it's just a bunch. It's like your cornerback group last year. It's just a bunch of names.
A bunch of names.
Well, I think that
When you could have solidified this in the first or second round.
That goes to how much that was a miss in the first round.
Yeah.
it also
and
goes.
half of those linebackers will be playing on special teams this year. So
Right.
I mean,
Well, I think your 3 starters are going to be
Nathan Jerry.
Gary, Edwards, and Brown, basically.
No, I think Brown and Davion Taylor. I think Davion Taylor is going to get a chance to win that. You don't draft him in the 3rd round. He's higher value than Bradley or any other of these linebackers that you have. You drafted him higher than any of them.
Yeah, they have him
I think
slotted right
we-
now behind Duke just because he's a rookie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and he'll beat Duke Riley out for that. So I mean, that's your 3 linebackers. I don't love it. I also don't hate
It's
it.
terrible, Tommy.
Murray can
Come
play
on,
a little
man.
bit. Murray can play when he's healthy. I don't mind
Come
Murray.
on, dude.
Nate Gary, I'm not a Nate Gary guy. And then you got to hope Davion Taylor can play. I'm not crowning it, Ralph. I just said that. I don't love it. It's not star guys, but Murray can play. I mean, he's proven that in a short track record that when he's on the field, he can play. You know, he's 90 tackles the 1 year he played. So
I think one of our starters is a guy that's not even on the roster right now. I think it's Nigel Bradham.
Nigel Bradham, yeah.
he could if they don't think that one of these guys can handle the middle, or depend on how they feel about the middle linebacker position.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
wasn't Nigel more of an outside guy anyway?
Yeah, in a way, but they played him a lot more middle though, in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that guy's huge, so it's not like they it's not like that's the way the position's going.
And obviously, underperformed. It's why we let him go.
And he hurts you in coverage as well.
Yeah.
I was right about Marriott from the Chargers, right?
No, it's Brown.
Brown.
I think we all knew what you were talking about. So
yeah, but Brown.
Kenneth Murray went to the Chargers.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. I got the good linebackers in my head.
Yeah.
But that's how I think of it. I mean, you didn't bring him in not to start him. He's got a little bit of proven experience compared to what you have. They could bring Nigel back. I don't. Now, the way it looks, I don't think they do, because I think they're going to try giving some of these young guys an opportunity to see if they can play.
Well, we better hope that front four stops the run, because
because if not,
once it gets to linebackers, man, it's just going to be a lot of one-on-one missed tackles.
Well, Adam Rush says, what free agent linebackers are available? Frank, you wanna get into the list?
Why, yes, I will pull up the list.
There you go. I got you.
Oh, thank you. How nice of you.
Our most hated pick, obviously, is all the same. It's the 53rd pick of the draft, and we're going to leave it at that.
Correct.
There's no other name that comes to mind there, so we're good there.
Can I go D all the above?
You go D all the above, Greg.
That's fair. So here, fam, this is the NFL Top 100 available free agents. Obviously, a lot of these guys, like Cam Newton, we don't need Cam Newton unless Howie thinks we need another
Let me
quarterback.
zoom in a little bit more, something that Ralph's computer doesn't do.
Yeah.
there you go.
We go to just the linebacker position right now.
Linebackers? Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Frank.
Shots fired.
You know what I mean? Let's go to linebackers. I do
All
like
right.
one.
Let's see how well you're doing this, Frank.
I'll bring in Mr.
Whoa, I got to get my friend Control F, and Nigel Bradham is the first linebacker listed.
Nice.
Wow. Can you go for a list like by position?
Won't allow me to sort because I tried it out.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me sort.
But Nigel's the first one on that list, so that tells you.
At
That's
45.
very thin, Tommy.
Go
Very
back up
thin.
to the beginning, because there's a name on that list that's intriguing.
Right.
It's always a position in need for any football team,
I think
and that's Everson Griffin.
yep. You remember mine, Tommy?
I know he's older. I know he's 32, but you don't need him to come in and play every snap. Pay a little bit of money. I get it, but you're in win now mode to a point. All right, and you tied yourself into that. So since you're in win now mode, that'd be a great addition. I think everybody here on this panel will be jacked up if we went and got another pass rusher to that quality, right?
Absolutely.
And especially
kind of play that Chris Long role. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't need to give him a lot of
And
snaps.
there's a guy that I would
Rotate the
love to
guys
bring
in.
in as well that's still on there, and that's Logan Ryan.
Yeah.
I would keep the tires on him as well.
Kind of
Oh, that's
insurance
fine.
from Sydney. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's a good corner, and he tackles.
Yep.
He's a great tackler.
Yep.
Yeah, he picked off Brady. He picked off Brady's final play as a New England Patriot.
And
took it to the house.
And he took it back.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I was just saying, when you look back at the Eagles draft, one of my biggest critiques is there was no pure edge rusher. I know you're going to sit there and that last kid they took from Stanford, Casey Tuhill is probably more of an edge than a linebacker. But to your point, Tom, there was no edge rusher taken. So, yeah, to add an Everson Griffin, or if you want to go pay for Jadeveon Clowney, I think would be needed almost.
Yeah, I almost feel like
we got this team.
I feel like we got hacked, Greg, and guys. I feel like one of the Folesian Society people drafted for us this year. I just truly believe that, because this is not Howie Roseman-esque in terms of this draft, where he values up front the way he does. And I'm very surprised.
He did the offensive line.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by the amount, by taking 3 wide receivers. Now, granted, the later ones
And trading for Goodwin.
and trading for Goodwin. when
That's 4.
now I don't mind the go win trade. It's fine. But late round picks, we know what they are. You know what I mean? But I'm just surprised that there wasn't some of these a defensive lineman taken. I'm shocked by it. Now the kid from Stanford is a pass rusher. But again, you're talking about a 7th round pick. Did he even make the football team?
Right.
So, probably not. So I think Everson Griffin is a great name. I like Logan Ryan, as you boys stated out. And is that now? It's a shame because we have so many. But is that Snacks Harrison number 9?
Yes,
Yes, he is.
Yes.
I love Snacks. You want to stop the run? You bring in Snacks Harrison,
And that'll make up for the weak linebackers we have.
but we have so many tackles. It's
Exactly.
there's no room for them. But again, the number 2 on the list, I would take, but I'm not paying that kind of money. So
Agreed.
I'm out on it. So I'd rather go Everson Griffin. So
Tom, what kind of money do you think Clowney's going to end up getting? Because you know what he's demanding.
he's going to get 15 probably.
And you're okay.
I don't think he's going to get what he asked for. I don't think he's going to get 18, 20 million.
Yeah,
What's
didn't he jump down to like 17, 18? It was
Yeah.
his demand, quote unquote.
Yeah. And
What's
the
the most you're
Seahawks.
giving up for him?
Would you say, Ralphie, the Seahawks are in on it?
No, the Seahawks just declined his options, so that means he can. They didn't pick up his options, which means that he can sign with any team now. It's not limited to just the Seahawks. So,
What's the most you're willing to pay him?
Me?
man.
Anybody? Yeah, anybody.
12.
Yeah, that's the range 12,
Yep.
13.
12, 13.
I'm not touching. I'm
Yeah.
not touching 18, 20. You're
No.
crazy.
Oh.
You're out of your mind.
1 year, 13 mil.
And
Yeah.
probably,
And the only reason I might go higher is only on a 1-year deal.
yeah.
So I may go 1 for 15.
I'll give you 1 for 20.
You know what I mean? Or even that. You know what I mean?
But no, you know what I'll tell you though is that these people that want Clowney are the people that are all up in Wentz's face about getting hurt all the time. You know what I mean? Like take their Davion Clowney and you're willing to pay him that kind of money. Guys,
Never had double-digit sacks with Houston.
and look at the talent he had on Houston. Look at that line, and especially in a couple years back, loaded.
Yeah. Yep.
Nah, that's not happening. That's wishful thinking. T. Cotton.
We don't have to,
Well, yeah.
you can't trade.
No.
him. He's a free
Plus, you
agent.
can't trade for him. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was saying Yannick. Yeah, Clowney, no. Goodbye.
No, that's why I'm on the. I told you that's why I'm on the Everson Griffin. I don't want Clowney in the locker room. I'm good. Frank, scroll down a little more. Let's see what else we got here.
All right.
Next 10.
11 through 20. We got Joe Flacco all the way down to Cameron Wake.
Oh, we got some South Jersey love right there at the top of the list.
There's another name on this list that's intriguing to me, and that's Devontae Freeman.
14.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Devontae Freeman. I feel like Devontae Freeman can come in and have a role here. A little insurance policy, not praying to the running back gods if Miles Sanders goes down, God forbid. And if you want to talk about being deep in positions, Devontae Freeman makes you then really deep at the running back position. So they have still some money to play around with. That's another name that I like for a 1 year deal. You know what I mean?
And again, same mindset with the edge rusher. You didn't address it with any of your draft picks. I know we signed a couple guys, and that's all fine and good.
Yeah.
But again, you didn't address it with any of your draft picks. So you're right, Tom. Again, at what point do you go to a veteran like we've done in the past, and like it's proven we've done in the past? The Garrett Blount, Jay Ajayi, right? Veterans in the league that allowed us to not a running back by committee, but to blow Miles Sanders, to give him a blow so that we don't have to run his wheels off his second year in the league.
Absolutely. And that's what you want. You want that backup. So, I mean, I think we all – is anybody else on the list or anybody got to say anything?
Look at the age. Look at the ages, though, from 16 all the way down to 20.
Yeah.
Ralphie, what about your boy at 17?
Jason Peters, no shot. I'm done with him. No shot.
Great Diller show here.
Yeah.
We'll find out if he can play.
I drafted him last year at 22. He's my guy now.
Or if you have
gotta be.
another miss, we'll find out.
Yep.
I don't like that the team they traded with hit on their pick. Not a fan of that.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous.
Well, don't worry. We got Dillard backed up by Jordan Mailata. So,
Oh, my God.
It's just Project City
There
over
we go.
here.
Look at this. Hypothetical trade proposal. Hurts and a future pick for OBJ and Mayfield. Tom, that's your boy.
Oh,
Tom, you bringing your son in town?
Stop. I mean, he might get some playing time. We don't want to do that.
You want me to start clearing out the other room?
I'm telling you, there'll be packages for him. You know what I mean? We don't want to do that. It'd be 2.
Hot seat Carson. Hot seat Carson.
Oh yeah, I mean you have a bad first quarter. You know, bringing the righty out of the pen.
The sun
Boy, how it all
comes in.
changes.
The prodigal son comes home.
That's my kid. I don't run from it. I think he has a big year. Scroll down a little bit. He got an offensive tackle. It's huge for him. He got his bookend offensive tackle there. I think
He
that's
did.
it.
Again, another
his
team that I thought
development.
had a really good draft.
What, Jules? You're not a Baker guy?
No, I'm not a bigger guy, but I was a shake man. I was reading one of the comments.
Oh no, that's fine. I assume that's what it was.
All right, so I got 21 from 28. We got.
I like
Tony
Sheard a little bit. I like Sheard a tiny bit. I mean, I don't hate it. You know, just another edge guy. I don't love it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that's all that's going to be interesting. I'm interested there.
Yeah, I agree on
nothing
that
else there.
list.
I mean,
I think
Marcel
there's some
Harry
more.
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I think there's some more on the next one. Go on, Frank.
Keep on going, Frank.
Yeah, that huge gap is from my courtesy of my ad blocker.
And that's
What about-
another guy I would bring in right there,
Ziggy Ansah.
Ziggy Ansah. But the thing is he can't stay healthy either.
And he's
So
not as
that's a
good
knock on
off
him.
turf either as well.
Yeah,
Not as productive off turf.
yeah.
Oh, and you know what's funny? We would want a guy like Ziggy Ansah at 29, but we're gonna end up getting somebody at like Vinny Curry at 37.
And listen, I was just going to
I'll take it.
I wouldn't hate it though in the role again.
Depth, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know in spot roles can get after the quarterback. I'll tell you one guy I want no parts of on this list. I know he's a name that gets brought up a lot. I want 0 parts of Carlos Hyde. I think he stinks.
I was just about to bring him up.
Yeah, I don't want him, but I think we're getting him. I don't want him, but I think we're getting him.
Listen, he's so well traveled around the league. It tells me all I need to know. He stinks on a different team every year. I want no parts of them guys. Every year he's on a different team. Every year.
And every team he's been to, he started out as the number 1 back and lost a job halfway through the season.
Yes.
Everywhere he's been.
Parts of that guy stinks.
Well, I think. Oh, sorry. I said that. I think it's just those teams being so terrible at the running back position. They're putting their hopes and dreams in Carlos Hyde. I don't think we're in that boat. You know what I mean?
No, we're in the boat of Devontae Freeman. Let's go win.
I'm
No,
there.
what I'm saying, Greg, is that the dude's been to teams that he started out as number 1 in San Francisco, Cleveland, Houston, and he's lost a job halfway through the season.
Agreed. No, I know exactly what you mean.
The dude stinks.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
Ain't that the truth? All right,
Yeah.
go a little more. See what else we
A
got
little
here.
more. All right.
I mean, we're getting into scraps now.
Yeah, this is getting.
Oh, you want to try Michael Bennett again, anybody?
No,
Rashard Higgins.
There you go, Lamar Miller. You can bring in another running back. There you go, Rye. Your boy Lamar Miller.
You're a Lamar Miller fan, right?
Lamar Miller, where's that, my boy? I've never said Lamar Miller maybe once in my life.
And Nigel, Nigel has a chance to maybe come back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I like Nigel back. At least he knows how to play some defense, can tackle a little bit.
There's one more name. I think he's in the next
He
wave.
does.
That's Hyde.
All right, go ahead.
He's hiding, lurking. I see the angry Eagles fan.
Yeah,
Oh, we reached the end of the list.
Continue
All right.
free agents
Continue
51
free
through 100.
I know.
Well, click on it.
I did click on it.
Oh boy, Mister, I
There
can't
he is.
zoom's getting.
Oh man, I know.
Mister, I can't
There he
zoom. Get
is,
a little
number
mouthy over there.
60.
No, it's not. No, don't you do that to me.
Number
No, it's
60.
number 56.
Running back
Kendricks.
LaShawn
51.
McCoy.
No, what
51.
if
I'll take
everything
51.
the legal
Ex
stuff
Ohio State kid.
I'll take him.
if the legal stuff pans out and if he's available to play, what about a 1 year very cheap deal for Michael Kendricks?
I've seen all of them. Ah, Jesus.
See, now,
Would you take Michael Kendricks?
This is how desperate we are.
Well, we could have solved it day one. Almost with Patrick Queen.
Ralphie, I hear you, man.
Well, here we are. Look at that goddamn
Here we go.
scraps.
Kicking
I
the
think
tires
he's going to
on
be our
all-
linebacker next year.
Michael Kendricks and Nigel Bradham and Clay Matthews. And here we are.
And Alec Ogletree. Here we
Alec
go.
Could have had
Ogletree,
Patrick Queen,
yeah.
Alfie. Could have had Patrick Queen.
Yep. Yes, we could have.
Kenneth Murray.
But we had to go Rieger because, God forbid.
Manny, we're talking running back because number one, Corey Clement, whether he's on the roster today or not, he's not moving the needle. And two,
You mean the Super Bowl MVP?
stop it.
Joey, I agree with you.
Maybe the most overrated Philadelphia sports athlete.
Who? Corey Clement?
Yeah.
Prism.
I do agree, Darren Lee. I just obviously if the Chiefs, who are in desperate need of defensive help and linebackers, couldn't use you, there's probably a reason.
Well, it's the same thing for like the Giants, for example. Like you see, there's a bunch of like edge guys from the Giants. We saw that Giants defense all too well. We know that they need a lot of pieces on the defense. The fact that these guys are still available, no. I'm good.
Just for shits and giggles, let's finish the list here, Frank.
Keep on scrolling,
right.
Frank.
Corey Clement is Reno Mai.
All right.
Anyone want some T-Sizzle?
Oh, Jesus.
T-Sizzle?
Terrell Suggs.
Jeez.
I'll take him 7 years ago.
Wow.
Ty Montgomery. You could be
Nah,
your punt
this-
returner
this-
and kick returner.
This list is done.
And in big games, he will
This
fumble
is
in big spots.
That's it.
Oh, that's what we need him for.
Yes.
Hey, Ty Montgomery, anybody?
Yeah.
Really move the needle. Maybe he could play quarterback. Freaking
Jeez,
guy.
this is terrible.
Keep going, Frank, before I
All
go
right.
blind.
Gigolo? Male Gigolo?
All right. 71 through 78.
Mark Barron.
Oh, Pernell McPhee. He sounds like a winner.
B.W. Webb.
I used
Mark
to be a,
Barron's an interesting name.
I was a Mark Barron fan.
Oh, Vontez.
Great for the locker room.
I'll tell you what, you want to solidify your middle linebacker position.
Hey, Ralph, remember a couple years – oh, no, Tom, you remember this. Remember a couple years ago after Sproles went down and everyone was like, oh, my God, trade for Spencer Ware. Trade for Spencer
Oh,
Ware.
Yeah.
jeez.
Oh, the Spencer Ware talk.
I remember I was doing a fantasy draft the year.
Oh, I remember right.
Was it Spencer Ware got hurt or no?
Oh, it was Spencer Ware that got hurt.
Yeah, I drafted him 5 minutes before, and it was an auction draft too. So, like, I legit spent money on him before he got hurt.
Damn, Monte Nicholson's a free agent, too.
Who?
Yeah, I think he got in some trouble or something. Like that's why he got released.
Yeah. Fucking Monte.
Monte. I like Monte back in the day. I like theoretical a little bit, too, in country football.
Oh, 93,
Frank Gore!
bring him in.
Frank
93, bring him in.
Frank
We
Gore,
can bring
95.
Frank Gore back. We can get him
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
rounding out the list, Dontrell Inman and
my
Damian
spot.
Square.
You guys
Beast mode. I'm bringing him
Bring
back.
back Damian
pop into
Square.
my body as you guys finish this list.
And
That's ridiculous.
and that's the end of the list.
Oh, that's it.
Riveting.
That was a great list.
Nice.
I know.
So just
Good
scratch.
job, Howie. That's where we're at right now.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Howard.
that scroll and that Zoom. Ralph obviously couldn't pull that off.
Yeah.
Frank,
No
you have a
problem.
new job. Ralph, you're fired.
Everybody's built for it.
Thanks.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you,
Well,
Frank.
I
there
guess.
is no God, apparently. We should sign Burfict and Antonio Brown. Okay.
Whatever
I
God
can
said.
see it now.
Right? I mean, he predicted the Super Bowl in 2017. You guys were there.
Yeah. Where were you?
Joker says Nigel has problems with the coaching staff. He may. You know.
I was not there, Ralph.
I know.
Cannell says, quick. Someone hide the free agent wide receiver for how he signs them.
Paul Richardson incoming.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
He'll release Sheldon Gibson just to sign him back.
Oh.
It's coming, boys.
Jordan
Oh.
Matthews available?
Oh,
He
you know
will
that's
be.
happening.
He will be week 4.
He'll be coming in. You'll see him. The reports. Oh, Matthews at the NovaCare complex.
Joey Tordero, preacher Ralph. We want Vontaze. I'll take Vontaze in a heartbeat.
Let's go.
Joe Moffat, any realistic trade that the Eagles could make before the season? Can we trade Howie?
Joey, my brother.
I think the only realistic one would be potentially someone taking out Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really it. And not getting much in return, just someone willing to take that on.
Yeah, and nobody is.
And no one is. That's about as realistic as I can get.
Someone said way earlier, they said, given what we did with the first 3 picks, 21, 53, and 103, hindsight 2020, would you take all those 3 picks and trade up for a guy like Isaiah Simmons or somebody in the top 10?
Not Simmons, but I mean, I would take them 3 picks for Judy. You know, I would take them. I mean, shit, I almost would take Xavier. I would almost take McKinney over them 3 guys. I mean, he's a second-round guy. So, I mean, you're asking the wrong guy. You know what I mean?
I just sent them all for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take them all for Patrick Queen. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's give me Patrick Queen. I'm good. I'll go to bed, baby. I got a 10-time All-Pro walking in my fucking door. I'm so sick of the reach bullshit. I'm so sick of good organizations like the Baltimore Ravens just winning drafts over and over again because they do it the right way. They value positions. They understand it. They value talent. Marquis says Burfitt might just pull a real gun out mid-game and execute. The QB ever see? What was that movie?
Gridiron Gang. Gridiron Gang.
Nah, The Last Boy Scout. The Last Boy Scout. He pulls.
I thought I had it.
A little old for you, Rye.
It's a little old for you, Rye. But The Last Boy Scout, go watch it. All right, pulls a gun out on the field.
It happened on Gridiron Gang too. Great
movie.
movie.
End zone. That's Vontez. I'll take a little gun. Nigel had no problem with it, Marquise. You know what I mean? You want? Nigel had no problem walking around his piece. I just don't know if he did it in the locker room or not. But he sure hell did it walking in airports. So one would tell me he tried to dabble with it on the 50-yard line once or twice.
Kenny says Yannick has expressed interest in leaving the Jaguars. Yeah, no kidding. Alshon, Rasul, plus a 2021 third round for Yannick would be great. Can we get that in writing? Can we get that on a legal document, please?
I'll do that any day of the week.
I love it, Kenil, but Rye's Jaguars can take our scraps.
Rasul stinks. They don't want to pay money to Yannick, so why would they pay money to Alshon, right? And Rasul stinks. So, I mean, I just want to tell everybody out there, Rasul Douglas, he's not getting traded. If he's getting traded, he's getting traded on draft day because there's no value. If there was value, he would have got dealt. There's zero value for him. So it's like, okay, let's see if he can win a spot then. You know what I mean? There's zero value for him out there. Mm-hmm. Like the talks about Dante Pettis or Rasul, you're trading 2 guys that get released for each other. No, it's not realistic. Guys who get released aren't getting traded for each other. They're getting released.
Death, taxes, and Burfitt getting suspended. Boom.
Julio says, when was the last time we had an elite linebacker?
I mean,
do we have a cricket sounder?
I don't know. I mean, that's disrespectful in a way, in a tiny way, because in 2017, Nigel Bradham could flat out play. Yeah. So, I mean, I find it a tiny bit disrespectful. But now, if you want to talk about drafted linebackers,
yeah, you know, we talk about drafting.
Yeah, but in terms of signing them, you know, that was a great signing.
Jordan Hicks was pretty good too. The problem is he got hurt all the time.
But I wouldn't say elite. He's not elite.
No, he was just very good. He was very good.
Elite. I mean, the one that comes to the name is Trotter was the last one.
Yeah,
and he was not even elite.
Yeah, God said Trotter. He knew it, obviously.
He remembers.
We talk to each other maybe every once in a while.
Joey Todaro says, can we call the 49ers and try to trade for Patrick Willis out of retirement like we tried to do with Calvin Johnson?
I would love it. D'Amico Ryan. That was that. I mean, D'Amico could play. He was just coming off of a big-time injury, and then year two, D'Amico could ball.
Yeah, he was a good linebacker in Houston.
Tequila Spikes we got too late.
Yeah, that was a late one.
And the one we got early, who's the kid that killed Flacco last year in Miami?
Kiko Alonso.
Alonso. His only highlight play was the one-handed interception in the first week of the season against Atlanta.
And I tweeted and I said, Kiko Beckham. Kiko Beckham.
Yeah. We know what's funny? He could play in Buffalo. He found a way to figure it out in Miami.
Yeah.
Couldn't play here. That's something to tell you guys. That's all.
I think also he was that Tom, you say it all the time. He was that first year removed from the ACL here, and plus that was the chip year to where he was on the field the entire season.
Listen, Greg, it's so important to value some of these guys. Angry Eagles fan, if that happens, I will stop doing a show for a year.
Temple tough,
and it's not a shot at the kid.
Temple tough.
We the T.
Is it a shot at Temple?
0 shot. He might not even make the team. I mean, I want the kid to because I hope the guys you draft make the team, but there's a chance he doesn't even make the team either.
Oh yeah, remember LJ Fort? Yeah, he ended up being pretty good for Baltimore, and we still paid his contract. We're still paying
an extension.
God watched this guy live, obviously. You know what I mean? God watched him live.
But God's still watching him live.
Yeah, he's at a Chuck Pitt.
Could he play a little bit, God?
God, can he still stick a little bit? And God, let me ask you, because the last guy we spoke to did a lot of big things for us in 2017. and especially at the draft. We want to ask you, God, what do the Eagles need to win a Super Bowl now? The last God said him. So, love to hear your opinion. If it's you, guess where we're going.
This can only end with good things now, Tom. We're starting a new thing. Here we go.
Jalen Hurts will end up winning in a backup role, and all hell will break loose here.
I love it.
Cosmos something. I can't pronounce that name. Cosmo. I'm going to call it
Dicey.
Cosmos and Dicey? Cosmos and Icy.
All this talk, will there even be a season? Yeah, but probably not on time.
I don't know. I don't got the crystal ball, brother. I wish I did for everybody. You know what I mean? I don't have an answer for you.
I think there will be a season, but it's just, it's a matter of when and how.
Gavin, probably.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, he'll have
But look how many
Offensive player of the year.
Look how many receivers they drafted. They don't even.
They had a horrible draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good draft.
Yeah, but you have to. I don't disagree, Ryan. But with that Mike Mayock drafting, you have to kind of go off of the, if Mayock likes you, kind of like Bill Belichick, right? If Mayock likes you, there might be something to it, just because this guy's been around. I agree, though. I don't think they had the greatest draft, but they definitely did get some talent and some speed. It's just a matter of still have Derek Carr as a quarterback.
They got speed. Like, they lost him at the first pick when all the receivers were on the board. They went out and got speed for two guys, Mariota and Carr, who don't throw the ball down the field. They don't.
But Ruggs is more than just a speed guy.
When Judy and Lamb were on the board, Greg,
I don't disagree. Ruggs wasn't better than those two.
Yeah, but Ruggs wasn't even as much a reach as. I mean, I guess he was. But Ruggs isn't even much of a reach when you figure. It's just how you board him.
53.
It's just how you board them. That's all. I don't think they had a great draft, but I do think Nelson Aguilar getting out of here and clearing his mind and playing for a new fan base in a way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, I think he's going to have a decent year because I think in the West Coast offense will fit right in John Gruden's system.
Oh, yeah.
And I trust Gruden to try to get him the ball in the right spots too. So
yeah, Philip, you're right. They did draft Arnette early,
like 40 picks early.
Yeah.
Jay says, should we have gotten Jefferson? Well, given where they're going all speed, no. If they're going speed, then he wouldn't have fit here. But yeah, Jefferson balled out, obviously. He's way more reliable.
Elger Buckley was on the other day, former Eagles running back for a second, and he made it clear that, Jefferson, that speed difference isn't – what's the difference? The one guy beat guys over the top. He had 111 receptions playing against the best. The speed differential is, what's the guy's game speed? They say that Jefferson doesn't have good game speed, but everything you watch is good game speed. So, I don't know where the knock came from. I think, the 40 time almost makes the guy look bad when it wasn't bad because other guys run faster ones. So, I'll say it again. I'll say it a million times. I don't know if it's a miss, but I'll tell you one thing. Minnesota couldn't get that pickup any quicker.
30 seconds.
That's all I know. So,
and the Chargers couldn't trade up quick enough.
Yeah. What'd you say, Greg? What was the last part?
And the Chargers couldn't trade up quick enough to take Murray.
Oh, yeah. And to me, listen, the Chargers had a sneaky good draft because I actually am maybe in the camp that I think if there's a place for Herbert to succeed, it's right there.
Yep.
Right there where nobody gives a rat's ass. So I think Justin Herbert's going to develop. I truly do now. Depending on where he went was going to judge my development of him because he has if you want to talk about tools, just tools alone, he's better than Burrow. Just tools. Now, he's never been consistent enough. That's the problem. That's why he doesn't go one. You know what I mean? It's the only difference of the two is Burrow's had a monster year, but if Burrow's has 70% of that year, guess who goes number one in this draft? If it's not Tua, it's probably Herbert.
Yeah,
because you're right. Because
the body
2 years ago, after his sophomore year, he had an opportunity to come out because he redshirted, and everyone because of that class, he decided to stay. And everyone said that's a great decision. You'll be the number one pick overall. And you're right, Tom. Didn't have the consistency, didn't have the success at Oregon like he did his sophomore year, to where he cemented himself as that top guy. But you're right. Watching him in shorts and a t-shirt, throw the ball, he can make all those throws. He's got the body for it.
He makes
but
the
consistency.
He makes them in games too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the guy had a good college.
And he's sneaky athletic too.
Yeah, sneaky athletic. So it's like that kind of like that athleticism you need at the quarterback position now in the NFL. I think it's a great pick by the Chargers, and I think Mary's a great pick by the Chargers too. A lot of teams have really good drafts, and you know why a lot did? Where I would call a bunch of people idiots if we were all saying like all these teams have great drafts. There was a ton of talent.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the most, I think we talked about it earlier on. I mean, and one of the drafts that was one of the deepest. So that's why 53 is another miss. Because 53 can get you back up into the first, maybe if teams just want to get out. You know what I mean? And it can play to a second and some thirds.
And that's why, to be honest, there's a lot of Rager love in here. And I like the kid. Listen, I had him taken at 28 by the Eagles, trading back. So I clearly like the kid. My fear, and I think this, I don't want to speak for anybody, but I think this kind of holds true for the guys in here, is that, to Tom's point, how deep this draft was. How plentiful and how, especially with the wide receiver, the high ceilings that were available to you. Not only at 21, but within reaching distance, a la, Lamb, Judy, etc., and the guys later. My fear is that we're going to come out of this draft with Rager, who's going to end up being a very good play, a very good little player. Okay. And that's not a comp. That's not a shot by calling him a very good little player. That's just what he is. He's going to be a very good player in this system with what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. My fear is that's going to be our takeaway and a freaking backup quarterback in the 53rd. And you're going to have other teams get the transcendent talent. That's my one fear, okay? I had expectations going into the draft, and especially when you see guys who have that kind of pedigree and potential that were within reaching distance, and you come out with somebody who's going to be very good. You know what I'm saying? That's my fear. I'm nobody's saying here that Rager's trash or he's not going to translate or he's going to be a fourth stringer. Nobody's saying that, okay? Because then I think it would be a little too aggressive. My concern is you had opportunities to get transcendent talent, not only on the wide receiver and offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball, especially linebackers. And we wouldn't be having this conversation of, oh, guys, well, I think if the legal stuff works out, then we can go after Michael Kendricks. You think I want Michael Kendricks? No. I don't want to deal with the freaking courts.
Yeah, and we're talking about legals. Yeah, right. I don't want to deal with the courts, man. Now we're getting into this. I don't need a legal battle. I need football players.
Thank you, God.
Oh boy,
I'm gonna hang that on my dresser. God said that. Let's see. Joseph says 53. We could have gotten Fulton or AJ Ebenezer or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, absolutely, Joseph.
Or you could.
Those are the two biggest guys that they're sitting there and they're like, they're still available.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta pay.
You brought in Slay to match up against Cooper, and now Lamb might go for $150 on us on the other side.
Hey, Howie's gonna be watching while I'm paying, so be careful what you say.
But no, Jules, you're absolutely right. And
God, easy. I got laser red eyes. All right, God, don't say anything stupid while I'm gone because Howie will laser.
And you're right. You don't want to base your draft off of what your rival does, but when your rival sits there and takes CeeDee Lamb in front of you, and then takes Trayvon Diggs in front of you, and then you sit there and you go quarterback.
That's right, Prism. I think can we buy into this? Rager's going to be. Go ahead, Jules. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but it's not even like trying to rival or counter what they're doing, but you're also taking the best player that's available too.
No, that was my point.
In a position of need.
That was my point. Yeah, we're not sitting there mirroring them, but in a sense of taking the best available, we would be mirroring them or counteracting them.
Yeah.
Can everyone buy into this? Rager's going to be a solid number 2 for 7 to 10 years.
I mean, you've seen him play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the breaking news, Ralphie. I didn't know. I thought we had years of game tape of him in the NFL.
Ooh.
By the way, Prism, got a question. Is that an ode to the old Prism? The network Prism, or?
Well, he spells it with the Z.
I know it's spelled differently. But maybe
Great
that
question.
would. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Would y'all rather want Rager 21 or trade a second round pick for Brandon Cooks? I'd go Rager. I go Rager.
Yeah,
I'd rather trade a second round pick.
Yeah,
for
Rager for me.
Rager
for me.
What'd you say, Greg?
DeAndre Hopkins for a second and a fourth. Sounds a lot better than all of that.
Yeah. Yep. And then if you did do that, then you don't have to go wide receiver at 21.
No. Get your boy.
Although we still would have, because we traded for Marquise Godwin and still connected. Still took 3 more guys.
Yeah.
The Niners traded up for 25 for Ayuk. When do you think Reagor would have gone? All the teams that wanted him, Saints, Packers, Niners, and yeah, that's true. There could have been a chance that he was taken, and if it's their guy,
I think right in that area. Right in that area, 25 to 27, it was my landing spot personally for a guy like Reagor.
Yeah,
Joker. I think all those teams potentially take Reagor, but I'm okay with that. I was okay with that with Reagor. You know what I mean? Like I like the kid. The kid, if you want to sell me on Reagor over Jefferson for that skill set, I'm good. I'll buy into it. You know what I mean?
See,
go ahead. I just at 21 again, and the way the board fell to you is where I raised my.
That's all my issue is not with necessarily the player itself.
Yep.
The whole situation, how it went down.
Yeah.
21. I was a big advocate. I wanted to go defense at 21 because I knew there was still going to be good players available at 53, and also nobody saw a quarterback coming in the second round. I mean, we'd be sitting pretty good because there's potential of Denzel Mims. Talk about Denzel Mims at 21 or trade back in the first and get him at 26, 27. So you take Patrick Queen at 21 and you're still able to get Mims in the second. I mean, we're throwing a party right now.
Oh, my God.
Heck yeah. You could even went Mims and went double wide receiver, which we all sat here and said, no, don't do.
Exactly.
And we'd all be sitting here throwing a party over what we've had.
Yeah. And Joker, for argument's sake, I'll say, for those 3 teams, the Saints, they desperately needed a center, which obviously took in Ruiz, and they needed defense. So, there's 2 big needed positions, or I should just say a needed position at center and an entire defensive side of the ball that they needed. The Packers, I mean, they trade up for a quarterback, so it seemed like that was their guy all along.
Yeah, that was their guy all along. Like, I think, going into this draft, I had this strange feeling where it was like, for some reason, I have the Packers taking Jordan Love. I don't know where, but they're going to try to get Jordan Love in the draft.
So I don't think, say for example, Reagor was their guy. I don't think Reagor not falling to them automatically calls them, oh, we're going to go quarterback. If they're going to go quarterback and trade up for quarterback in the first round, they have that planned weeks in advance. At least the good organizations do. Yeah. And the Niners, I mean, clearly because they didn't take one, in their original handful of picks. But again, if we're going to trust the GMs, John Lynch said that Ayuk was their number 1 graded wide receiver, which I don't buy for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But if there's any truth to that, okay, maybe they would have taken Ayuk all along.
I think there's truth to that only because they probably didn't grade the other ones out. Because I think at 13 where they took Kinlaw, they were always taking Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Or they were at least going defensive, whoever was there, right? So where at 13 they weren't necessarily valuing a wide receiver where we all thought and assumed that they would. You know what I mean? Where we all thought we got to get up to before the Niners because they're definitely going wide receiver. So I would buy into that just because I think at that point that's where they thought they were getting them anyway.
And going back on the Jordan Love thing with the Packers, the Packers could have stayed at 30 and gotten Jordan Love.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But again, that's the Eagles thought they could sit at 21 and still get CeeDee Lamb too.
Yeah.
But the Packers found a way to go up and get their guy that they wanted to make sure that they got.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I mean?
Camden Forces, I wanted Gandy Golden. Me too, brother.
Agreed.
So, I'll tell you a team, and we always take shots at them. Does anyone else think that the Redskins had a really good draft? I do.
I think the whole division had a good draft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of us.
Sixers JT or Philly JT now. What's up, brother?
Right, because the Giants got their tackle, and they went McKinney in the second round.
Yeah.
And then the Cowboys just drafted basically best player available, whatever fell to them. Stole a lot of guys in multiple rounds that were still there. And the Redskins had a really good draft. Really good draft.
Yeah.
And it started off day 1, which obviously Chase Young at number 2.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to start with that guy.
Yeah.
And they followed it up. Again, they got weapons for the quarterback. Obviously, Chase Young, to go on top of that already very good defense. You're going to have a young, scary defense. Then at 66, some people love him. Some people think that he's just a gadget guy. But Antonio Gibson, a guy who can either be running back, wide receiver, a guy who can do a lot of things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go Sadiq Charles, obviously a guy, from LSU. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, fam, wasn't he the kid who got suspended?
Yeah.
So a kid who has high potential but dropped. Yeah. So now you have a guy like Ron Rivera who is only going to expect grown-ups to be grown-ups in that room.
And he's that replacement for Trent Williams as well.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they dealt Trent Williams, there goes Sadiq Charles.
But you also have to look at Sadiq in kind of like a Lionel Collins from the Cowboys type of mold. And the Cowboys lucked out and taking a chance on Lionel Collins, where I think now obviously everybody in the league is going to be like, yeah, we probably should have taken that chance too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then, another weapon that does something completely different than an Antonio Gibson, and that's Antonio Gandy Golden, a guy who absolutely, you see the size. His one knock is his speed and obviously the fact that he played at Liberty. So, yeah, I get that, but that's why you get a guy in the 4th round. Oh, you're a Liberty guy? My apologies.
Liberty.
I am a flamer.
Okay.
Flames.
I see. And then at 5th round, 156, you got a center, Keith Ishmael from San Diego State, another guy, again, who they hope to develop. So it's basically you're getting weapons for the quarterback, and you're getting protection for the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we got a backup quarterback.
And on that pick, we became the laughingstock of the draft.
Let me see here. Philly JT says, I wouldn't be surprised if the Skins contend for the division next season. Their defense has way more depth than Dallas. Yeah, does anyone believe that they're like a division contender automatically?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I still think they're a quarterback away.
They're better though.
Yes.
I think they're drastically improved, and I think their biggest improvement was at the coaching position. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have an issue with Chase Young for his entire career.
Let me see here. Marquez says, I would be scared of Washington if their quarterback was it. Oh my God, Ty Detmer.
Oh my God.
I got a good chuckle out of that one.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean Marquez. Yeah, that's the biggest question mark for them right now is the quarterback. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in Dwayne Haskins. I don't, but obviously they didn't draft one, so they're at least giving him another year.
Yeah,
and maybe they're quite okay. Sucking entire year again and drafting Trevor Lawrence next year.
And also they traded for Kyle Allen this offseason as well.
They did.
So I mean, if Dwayne goes down the hill, then you also have Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen, remember him?
Who?
He played quarterback for Carolina last year.
Yeah, I know.
Did he?
The backup quarterback not named Will Greer?
He didn't catch on, Greg. He didn't catch on.
Yeah, I knew where Greg was going.
No, he didn't.
I don't think he did. Philip actually makes a good point. Was anyone else annoyed when this happened? We trade a 4th for the Cowboys, 5th and a 5th next year. Dallas gets who can become their future starting center when we trade back with the Cowboys.
Because that's the pick we drafted Driscoll on.
Yeah,
and I said it earlier. I wanted the kid from Wisconsin with that pick.
Yep.
Because in my mind, I wanted to draft a pure center to potentially replace Kelsey rather than the move, Frank, that we talked about, of moving Sayamalu over.
Yeah.
I would have rather drafted the center and left Sayamalu at guard because of the issues he had a couple years ago. I just didn't want to go through with that. And what does Wisconsin and Iowa do? They just produce offensive and defensive linemen.
They
do.
It's just you need offensive linemen. Go to Wisconsin.
and then what do? We trade with the Cowboys and they take them. And I hope he's not just his plug and play with Fredrickson, whoever that retired. I hope he's not plug and play. Yep. I hope there's issues there, but
Here you go, TTP, because Philly JT said it's been a while, because obviously he's one of the longtime listeners.
Yeah.
TTP says, yes, it has. A lot more viewers in here, too. We were here when there was like 5 a show. Yeah, you guys are one of the originals. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you, 6JT, Rosca. Who else was in that?
Floating around here.
Oh, boy.
Lord Walker
wasn't original.
Lord Walker
I'm not saying he's not.
he says, I know trades for big names are a rarity, but I look at pulling one or more of these trades. Williamson / Mosley from the Jets, OBJ from the Browns, and Ngakoue from the Jags. If you had to rank them, guys, and fam at home chime in.
I like
on what you want to happen first. Like, obviously, if you could only have one of these happen, 1, 2, and 3.
OBJ 1.
So we
Yannick,
need another wide receiver to our group.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Ralphie. What's 2?
Yannick, and then I'll take Mosley, number 3.
See, I'll actually add a 4th to that list. What about Jamal Adams?
Ooh, well, he's automatic number 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jamal
Went 6 to midnight right there.
Mosley out of the Jets aren't. Williamson is more likely to be traded than Mosley. They just gave him all that money last year.
Yeah.
Highest paid linebacker, whatever. Mosley, I think I've heard that he is on the trading block, and he got hurt last year too. He missed the whole year.
Yep.
Then I would go in Ngakoue and then OBJ.
Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1, 3, 2. But if you would have asked me before draft, I probably would have been 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go with how Lord Walker has it. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1, 3, 2. But if I added Adams in there, I would go 4, 1, 3, 2.
Yeah, I mean, Lord's exactly right. They very rarely happen, but yeah. The top 2 quarterbacks coming out next year that obviously everyone's gonna be looking at is Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
Yep.
And then you have a new starter, Jamie Newman from Georgia. He'll be in one. Yeah, Newman. He'll be a 1-year starter. And then after that.
Yeah, the quarterback class is basically how it was this year.
Yeah.
Right? There's 1 to 2 guys, and then it just falls off.
34 ranked prospect right now, Trey Lance, North Dakota State. Go Buffs!
No Bison.
Don't give Howie any ideas with other North Dakota State quarterbacks.
Ralphie, you know what next year's
but I'm sorry, Ron.
No, you're good. You're good.
Tier though, that middle tier of quarterbacks is probably better than this middle tier, but the disparity between the top and the middle is just as drastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you a draft, and going back a handful of years, and not really, that this quarterback class coming up reminds me a lot of. That's a 2015 draft, where it was the 2 guarantees that you can't miss.
Oh,
Mariota and Winston. You know what I'm saying? To where you were talking about them for years, and obviously and I'm not saying it's gonna I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is gonna be the next Mariota. I'm not saying that. But where there's 2 guys and then nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. And there's going to be somebody that comes out of nowhere, like Joe Burrow did last year. Not to the extent of Joe Burrow, but a guy who nobody's talking about, that he'll come up and he'll have a good season, and then somebody will take him at 10 because the quarterbacks need quarterbacks. So that happens every year.
Right.
My guy for that is Sam Ehlinger, the kid from Texas.
Yeah.
Somebody did ask way earlier, so I forgot if you're still here, put it back in so I can get your name. They said, who's the most likely high-end member of the Philadelphia Eagles that could get cut before season starts?
That could get cut?
Yes.
I saw that. I didn't know if that was the Eagles or in general.
Nobody. There's no depth for that to happen right now that I see.
I don't see anything happening with
besides Alshon. You know what I mean? Like outside of Alshon, there's nobody that I picture this team that's a vet that they're parting ways with, because honestly, they already did that already. They did that with Malcolm Jenkins already. They already parted with a vet. Right. They brought back McLeod. They brought back Mills for a year. So I don't. Jalen's your stopgap, or he's your guy. You'll find out. We'll find out soon. But Ronnie's back for a second, so I don't think he's going anywhere this year. So I don't see that guy on the roster right this second.
And there's too much money tied up into a guy like Alshon, right? To just flat out cut him.
Yeah.
So they won't do it. They're going to hope what they saw week 1 with Deshaun and Alshon in week 2 is going to pay off. No shot, dude. Why the hell? If Joe Douglas wouldn't even pick up the phone call. His
No.
secretary wouldn't pick it up. His secretary would say, "No, I mean, she don't know shit." You know what I mean? She ain't
Yeah, I mean, I think the only, and he's not even high end. The only
What up, Philly?
only veteran that would get cut that even feels like, well, some people think he's high end because he's the key to win the Super Bowl next year. That's Goodwin, the only guy.
Yeah, I don't even count him.
No, but some people think he's high end. So
now, Philly JT, you got to understand.
I hear you, bro. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
It's not mad
I know you do.
Not mad on no trades. You know, I mean, you got to understand that Rasul Douglas has no trade value. Alshon Jeffrey has no trade value. There's no value for them guys.
Malik Jackson still on this team? Yeah.
You gave him all that money.
I'm not gonna let one injury. It was a big injury. I'm not gonna let one injury be like, we're done.
No, Malik Jackson can play. Don't get that mistaken for a second. And he can play outside a little bit better than he plays inside too. So, everybody's up in arms about another DN. And I think a lot of their thought process, Greg, we talked about in the draft, was that Malik can play the outside too, and that's why. That's why the addition of Hargrave, right? Did I say?
Javon Hargrave.
Yeah. I want to make sure I don't mess up his name. Javon Hargrave. That addition's big because one, it's a run stopper, and two, it just gives you so much flexibility. This line has a lot of flexibility in it. I still would like one more guy. I think we all would, but right now, I mean, I think Malik Jackson, healthy, has a monster year, getting to play along on the line with a guy like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham.
Yep, we saw what he can do with a loaded defensive line in Jacksonville.
Right. Now, guys, I'm going to give you over under early. It's an early over under because there is a lot of talent on this D line. And just say for instance, they all stay healthy, right? And we get lucky. I'm going to give you over under sack total for one Derek Barnett, who was picked up on his 5th-year option, okay, and had some ups and downs here so far in his first 4 years here in Philadelphia. So now, we're in a make or break year for a kid. Does he go Nelson Aguilar way, or does he go, I want to get paid way, and actually live up to the billing on what you saw sort of in 2017? So I'm going to go over and under at 5.5.
I'm going over.
I'm going to go over.
Yeah,
we all know how contract years play out. One guy's got 1 year left on his rookie deal. He wants that big contract. I'm going to go over.
We've talked about this a lot to where Jim Schwartz loves the kid. He puts so much stock into the kid. I have to believe, and again, maybe I'm being overly, but I have to believe it's for a reason. We've seen glimpses of it. He's just been a kid who just hasn't been able to put it all together, and injuries have plagued him to an extent. I have to believe that if he still believes this much in the kid, and also, again, he was picked 15th overall. Maybe he's a guy that's just a late bloomer. But again, we've seen it before. It'd be one thing if he was a guy who we haven't seen glimpses. We've seen more than glimpses. I've been very frustrated with him. I think I've been really hard on the kid. I'm going over. I'm going over.
Yeah, I'm going over too. I mean, I've been a little less hard on him because I see the flashes. The offsides and the bonehead stuff is something that needs to get cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, ability to be able to get after the quarterback, I still believe is there. So I'm going to go. He has I'm going to go where Joker's at here with like 7 or 8, somewhere around there. Nothing crazy, not double digits, but enough to get the guy paid next year. I think he goes a different route, Nelson Aguilar, because I actually think Derek Barnett can play. I do. I see it. I see it. And sometimes it takes a guy a few, and it's been, going on his 5th year, and this is a make or break now. You find out if guys can play. Brandon Graham, you found out about right around about now. Yeah. There was glimpses, but he can play. So, a lot can change in a year, and a lot can change with talent around you too. You know what I mean? Yeah, hell, more than Randy Gregory. That's
take that to the house.
Or
I'm going under.
Alden Smith.
Eileen says she disagrees with the poll, and Eileen, welcome to the party because most people do. The smart ones do. We do have stragglers, but
I mean, I honestly, I don't know how you can be on the other side. I mean, there's no possible way. Ain't no way in hell you can be on the other side.
You're not wrong, Eagles Nest. You're not wrong.
No, he does, because Justine Anderson's a bitch. And I don't believe anything she says. I think she's a rat. I think she's disgusting. I think she's terrible for today's age of social media. She's horrendous for it because she wants to act like she's the smartest honey in the room, and she ain't. And she doesn't have all these sources she thinks she has or these contacts. I don't even believe that phone call that text message even happened. I'll tell you right now. And I told y'all who I think it really was, but nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody wants to listen to me. If it's from anybody, it was from Malcolm Jenkins. There's a reason probably why he ain't here. There's a reason why they gave Alshon a lot of money to stay here. It wasn't because he was some cancer in the locker room. I mean, I think people need to wake up a little bit that if there was that source, who that source was. Because she ain't just close to Alshon. She sure as hell seems like she's buddy with Malcolm. So don't be surprised. I'm just saying, I don't know what's true. We none of us.
Yeah.
Dumbest thing of the week, boys. A lot of them. A lot of things.
Jules, go ahead, Jules. Jules, you deserve this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jules, real quick. God knows. I mean, God's not a liar.
God never lies. God never lies. Every time.
Never lies. Not Philly Jesus never lied to me.
Nope.
Only time I ever talked to him, he told me that we were drafting him in the first round. Now, I continue to say this for the Derek Barnett conversation real quick, is that God told us we were drafting him in the first round. Ralphie, were you around? I know Zach was.
Yeah.
You saw the video of it. Rye was. It surfaced. Okay? God told us it was him.
Who recovered the football. Fumble. Yeah. Who has the ball? Who had the ball?
Hey, Derek. You know what I mean? So I still think he's going to pan out because Philly Jesus told me to. Now, God, if you tell me to, now we're really double dipping. Sorry, go ahead, Jules. Oh, Eagles win totals. We'll do that. After dumbest thing in the week, we'll do it fast. We'll run.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up from DraftKings to see what the actual number is.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Jake. Good question.
Dumbest thing in the week. I mean, this is an easy one. This is a slam dunk, and it's just going back to our poll question. All right. I came across something on. I mean, I'm not going to be in there and mention names, but
no, stop. This is what's wrong with everybody. Light the lamp. Put it on the table. Doug Peterson and Philly in the biggest moment. Put it on the table. That's what winners do, Jules. Winners put their thing on the table and show everybody how big it is. So go ahead and put it all on the goddamn table and the juice box. The juice box.
Put it in the juice box. I mean, listen. I don't know. I don't.
On the table. No, I'm just.
It's on.
I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy, Kyle Meager from a can of paint. All right, I never met the guy, but somehow I came across one of his videos and I was watching, and I really don't know why, but he's trying to convince us that the Jalen Hurts pick means that we're all in on next year. But if I go back to a previous video that I stumbled across, still I don't know how I got there.
Don't do it to yourself, but go ahead.
Still I don't know how I got there. The night of the draft, he's complaining that when CeeDee Lamb was picked to the Cowboys, that Howie's not giving him enough weapons and he's going to regret this move. Okay, so now we're going to draft the quarterback in the second round, which isn't going to see the field at all. So how can you possibly tell us that going all in means drafting the quarterback in the second round? That's never going to see the field, God willing, that Carson doesn't get hurt. And even if he does get hurt, he's still not going to see the field for Sudfeld. Just come on, man. I mean, headphones came out. I'm getting too amped up for this. I've been amped up since I saw the video. But please, guys, just think about it. Just think about it. A backup quarterback in the second round does not mean we're all in on next year. Like he's just going to take us to the promised land. Like Carson isn't just going to he's just going to come in and we're not going to skip a beat. The offense is going to look the same. We don't have to revamp the offense. I mean, the dude's he's a crumb. He's a crumb.
Listen, the worst takes in sports history. Anybody that is subscribed, I feel bad for you. I would unsubscribe to that immediately. And you're spot on because that doesn't mean win now. I mean, we're in win now mode anyway. This guy was never in win now mode last year. 3 weeks in, they were done. He don't have a clue. His feel, like he claims, doesn't have a clue. He's lost so many bets to me. It's disgraceful. It's actually funny. It's actually funny the amount of money that I've won off him. That's where he gets emotional. It's over like $2,000. Stop betting me because you're dumb. And I don't win bets. You understand? I'm not a Vegas cat that's winning all this money. Right? That's the one thing I actually lose. Or I break even. I'm usually an even guy, okay? Or I lose a juice guy. You know what I mean? But that's where I am. So if I'm crushing you, whoa, take a step back, hon. You know, take a step back. But everything's spot on, Jules. It's a team that's win now mode regardless. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. That's actually the opposite of that. Win now mode. That's actually like, hey, we're in semi-rebuild.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said before, you don't see the other teams with franchise QBs taking taking backups in the second round. I mean, did Andy Reid go get his backup in the second round behind Mahomes just for insurance? I mean, come on, stop it.
No, you don't do that. And Mahomes got hurt this year. Did I miss that?
No, you didn't miss that.
You know what I mean? Did I miss that? I mean, maybe I did.
No.
You know,
and everybody nobody wanted to touch the quarterbacks in free agency because it'll be too much money. Like they really fucking know how much money is really involved with these guys. You were hearing numbers about Jameis Winston. His 1 year deal is going to be about $7 million. The guy got $1.1 million. All right, that's equivalent, literally equivalent to about $100 in the NFL. Okay, that is nothing. All right, and I promise you, a lot of us will feel a lot more comfortable with Jameis Winston under center in the emergency situation than Jalen Hurts.
He can see now. He can see.
Who's a one look guy? One look, reach right there, pull, and he's taking off. All right, you're not doing that. You're not Lamar Jackson, and stop with the comparisons to Lamar and Russell Wilson, and stop with the comments saying, "Oh, we missed out on Russell Wilson so many years ago, so that's why we need to go out and reach for a quarterback now, so we don't miss out again." You really sound dumb. You guys need to get a clue.
Russell Wilson played baseball and had a pretty good arm.
You could sling it. You just knew. You just knew. I mean,
Lord, I'm in on all that.
Yeah, me too, Lord. We got God and we got Lord. Love it. Let's see here. Greg, you're dumbest in the league.
I still go back to just the actual picking of our first 3 picks.
Yeah,
you know, the each individual one you can sit there and nitpick like, okay, I'll buy into Rieger, but then you draft Hurts and you draft Taylor early, whatever, right? But the combination of all 3 of them.
Ralphie.
Oh man, it's gonna be our GM Howie Roseman. Dumbest thing, the fucking quarterback factory. What the fuck are we talking about? Quarterback factory. 1, Nate Sudfeld hasn't gotten a contract more than 1 year. Great factory. Long-term deal. Awesome. Wonderful. 2nd, Clayton Thorson, 5th round pick last year. Didn't even sniff preseason. Awesome. Wonderful.
4th round.
Was he 4th round? Makes it even better.
Even worse.
Makes it even better, right? I can't believe it. Quarterback factory. Here we go again. And then we take Jalen Hurts at 53. So I guess the factory's still up and running. They pay their rent for the new building. It's all up and running. So that's the dumbest thing I've heard all week.
See, and here's another thing. The Philip comment. Jalen Hurts with an offseason will be better than Jameis' 30 interceptions. What offseason are we talking about? The training camp that we're going to be having in July and the preseason? They're talking about pushing the league back until October. What off season are we talking about?
Yeah, there might not even be an off season.
There's going to be no off season.
The only off season is in the backyard throwing the football to the dog. That's the only off season he's getting.
Yep, hopefully he catches better than Aguilar.
Hey, I'll sign him to a 1 year. I was almost at a 10-day. But that's the wrong league.
It depends on.
For me, same thing. Kind of on this draft stuff. Max Kellerman. Max freaking Kellerman. Listen, I don't have high expectations for any time you speak about anything. And I don't even watch your little show. And I love Stephen A, but I can't even watch it because of you. But I read on Twitter and I see the clip that you're coming in Monday morning and you're talking about how Carson Wentz needs to demand a trade now. First off, number one, it's not the NBA. Okay, in case you didn't know, it's not the NBA. 2, the only times you see players requesting to be traded is when they're trying to get paid, a la DeAndre Hopkins or Le'Veon Bell. Carson already got paid. And 3, if you took 3 seconds, it's a quick Google search, you have it on the phone, you might have 2 because you're on first take, good for you. You could see that for the first 2 years, that Carson Wentz contract is virtually untradeable given the cap hit. It's virtually untradeable. No, and 2, why are we doing Carson's requesting trades? Your takes are bad. The fact that you're on screen on Twitter is bad. You just have a bad face. Just everything about you just have a bad face. I see it scrolling Twitter in the morning, and I just get off to a bad mood because I see it. It's just awful. The fact that you're going to go on and I get it. It's a narrative. Oh, you got to be the next Skip Bayless. Your hate guy is Carson Wentz, dude. Can you stop, please, for the love of God?
Right. What makes it worse is his hate guy, but now he's backing him. Like he's the one always talking about he's hurt all the time. You're the one talking about he's hurt all the time, Max, and you can't trust him and this, that, and the third. But now you're saying, well, you should demand a trade. I mean, how about a walking contradiction one time? I mean, that's what these guys are. They're walking contradictions. They have no thought process. Freaking idiot.
The only thing to listen to Max on is boxing.
Okay.
Listen to Max on boxing, and that's it.
No, he doesn't know his shit about boxing.
Vespe.
Well, I'm not going to go sports related for this week,
Shocker.
but I know. But I'm going to go with True TV as my dumbest thing of the week because I just saw an advertisement from them today as I was thinking of my dumbest thing of the week. So apparently they are going to air a show involving a woman making crafts out of animal number 2s.
Wait, is this real life?
This is real life. A woman making crafts out of animal shit.
Can we lift this pandemic now, please?
Please. I want my sports back. I don't want to be watching that.
Oh, man.
Antonio, I mostly agree, Ryan, but Rodgers is making money and would still be justifiable demanding a trade. The Packers never drafted skill position. Yeah, but one guy's 36, the other guy's 27. Listen, I'll give you a bold prediction. In 2 years, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be on the Packers. But it's two completely different situations.
Oh, go out on a limb, will you?
Oh, this one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the case.
Tom, dumbest thing of the week?
Well, piggyback off of those two and Jules and Ralphie. I mean, it's not just and Greg too. It's not just the quarterback factory comment in a way, or the drafting of the Jalen Hurts, which we all know is a terrible pick. It's not even the whole draft as a whole in a way. It's the constant. I'm the smartest guy in the room, and I'm going to outthink you to why his draft success has been a semi-fail. You know what I mean? Semi-failure. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's not only just the picks, because I like some of these players, but it's the reach on everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone but Kevon Wallace is a reach. I mean, Kevon Wallace fell in your lap in the fourth. Every other pick is a reach in some degree. And you can love a pick, and that's fine. But every pick has a level of reach to it, which I'm just tired of. I'm just sick of. Some things you can be smarter than the guy next to you. Some things are just right on the board in front of you. Make sense? Some things you can't run from. All right? And you're just going to be like, okay, I guess got to take the best player on the board. Right? When there were so many in the first round too, and I know our need for wide receiver, but my one of my rules, boys, when we did it, was don't reach on wide receiver. Don't reach on wide receiver, period. No matter what happens, take the best guy on the board, and the best guy on the board at 21 was Patrick Queen. It wasn't even Justin Jefferson, okay? And there was other guys that I would value higher than the two wide receivers in Jalen Reagor and Justin Jefferson. Patrick Queen's just one of them. Okay, so if you owe something to your football team, as Howie Roseman stated to us, okay, in his reasoning for Jalen Hurts, well, you owe it to your football team to draft the best player available, and I made that clear weeks ago to the people. You owe it to your football team that. So if you think Jalen Hurts is the best player available, good, then you owe it to your football team. Well, then guess what? In the first round, you owe it to your football team just as much, if not more, to do the same thing.
Yep.
Jalen Reagor is a little bit of a reach. It's about a 6-7 pick reach. Okay? And 3 months ago, guess what kind of reach it was? It was a 2-round reach. 2-round reach. Mm-hmm. That's all. I'm not going to say the kid can't play, but a 2-round reach 3 months ago, and shorts in a tee and a pro day changes that? Shit. That's the dumbest thing of the week. You letting shorts in a tee dictate shit. Production dictates. Sometimes the shorts in a tee can tell you some things. Sometimes. Far and few between. Okay? And I know I speak for every one of us and everybody listening. I want winners. Right? I want ball players. Okay? That's what I want. That's all I want. I want winners and ball players. Not reaches and smartest guy in the room guys. That's not what I want anymore. When these big SEC players are falling in the laps. Winners. Right? Hey, Patrick Queen's a winner. talk about locker rooms. You talk about all that. Winner. Mr. Dobbins in the second round. Okay? Get deeper. If you owe it to your team, your running back got banged up last year as soon as he started getting more touches.
Yeah.
I told you I'll trade Christian McCaffrey in a minute. I'll give you 2 firsts, maybe 3. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use them both in limited roles in a way, but both effectively. I'm both getting 15 touches a game. Everybody stays healthy. Everybody's career goes a little bit longer. I get more production out of guys.
Then we need a new scouting room, the Black Line.
Guys right here. I mean, what do you want from us? We'll step in for free.
No, but Tom, to that point, with the deepness at wide receiver, we got 2 guys in the 6th round, 5th and 6th round, that guys think are good.
Oh yeah, I can't with that.
No, but you know what I mean? To where, like, you're right, though. We didn't have to reach at 21 is what I was saying, because there was still potential talent down the road.
Yeah, well, the Black Line, I'll tell you, what if they thought, that was the best player available? Well, that's me then drinking the Kool-Aid and trusting a guy whose best player available in his track record isn't too good.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like you guys got to go off a track record and trends. When you talk about general managers, that's all you have. When it comes to the draft, you can only go off of their trends. Now, if he would have drafted what we thought was the best player on the board at every pick, then guess what? We're coming in out with a little more hope. I think anybody who gave this an A, anybody who gave it an A should, I don't know what that, quarantine through the NFL season, but do it without cable or any internet, because you shouldn't be allowed to watch it. You shouldn't be allowed to watch it if you give this draft an A. If you gave this draft anything more than a B-ish, I just think you're insane. I think
what would you guys give it? What grade would you give it?
C plus.
Yeah, that's what mine was.
C minus at the best.
Yeah, I gave it a D.
The Hurts pick at 53 killed it. Killed
it deducts it by 2 letter grades.
Absolutely.
Maybe not 2.
I gave it a D.
It's right. Maybe a C plus to a B plus if they don't draft Hurts. It's a whole letter grade.
Yeah,
not 2. I mean, 2's too hard.
Not 2. Yeah, not 2.
So you go 1, and that's saying that
1.5.
Me and Jules didn't really love the Rieger pick. I know that for a fact. I know other guys didn't as well. But
no, you take Patrick Queen there at 21, and he's your linebacker for the next 7 years.
At day 2, we were like, all right, man, it's speed, it's a need. We're gonna hope that he can play, right? And then you go out day 2 and you pull that out of the hat. You're like, we're done.
And then you reach on a linebacker who was projected to go in the 5th round.
Who played in high school?
Yeah.
And what the Ravens do, they didn't draft us 1 linebacker.
They got 3. They might have gotten 3.
There's another one here in the 2nd round from Ohio State, or the 3rd round.
Yeah, they got 2 of the top rated ones too.
Greg, read the stat you said about the history of them drafting linebackers in the 1st.
Who, the Ravens?
Yeah,
they drafted 3. They drafted 3: Ray Lewis, C.J. Mosley, and now Queen. Patrick Queen.
Oh, Joker. I'm sorry. That's why Pro Football Focus is the worst. The worst. A bunch of dry jock pocket protecting dorks are the ones grading this out.
There you go, God. That's right, God.
God, he was a reach, God. He had semi-reached him.
Oh my God. What does this comment mean? What does that mean?
I don't know what that. I don't know. But that
Black Line had him to C minus. I'm right around there. C minus, D for me.
Yeah, TTP, another good one. Queen and Mims. Julio Vargas says it's Queen, and you could have came back up into the 1st.
Yep.
But, I mean, listen, you could have been aggressive like the Niners. That's what winning. That's what John Lynch is doing. He sees a player he likes. He's going to go do what he's got to do to go get. If he comes out of this draft with Kinlaw and Ayuk or whatever the freak his name is, right? He comes out with these guys, right? And these 2 can play. That's a win of a draft. That's a huge win. I don't care where I get my talent. I got to hit them, and I got a better chance hitting early. So
wait. Did they get 2 starters in their 1st and 2nd round?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how you're supposed to do drafts?
Apparently, reportedly. That's true.
I mean, the Redskins had the best draft in our division. I mean, the Redskins, not the best draft in our division. They just got probably the best player in the draft. Mm-hmm. And it just goes on a front that I heard you guys talking about earlier. That's just so dominant. It's going to be disgusting. So
and they got weapons for their quarterback too. 2 guys who do completely different things.
Listen, I like what they're doing over there, but I still think when you go to win total real quick,
to
wrap it up, I'm going to be strong about this one because I got to give Howie some credit. I think he had a great free agency and a sleeper one. And why I tell you that is because Darius Slade's considered a free agent to me in a way because you made the deal for him. So that and Hargrave right there, I already love what you did. I love you brought back Rodney McLeod and you valued him like I do. And I love that you just said, you know what? We love Jalen's leadership. Let's see him at safety, right? And I love that you went that direction. So I like what you did defensively big time because your quarterback's best friend is the defense to get off the damn fucking field once in a while. Yeah. So I'm all in on that. So I give him credit there. But again, goes to the draft. I get concerned. We all get concerned. The family out there concerns. That's why there's a lot of C's getting tossed around because we don't trust the guy doing it. And Joe Douglas, we trust a little more. So at the time, we were like, but guess what? Who had final say? Howie Roseman had final say. It was clear because there was a lot of misses. Mm-hmm. So over under, what was it, Greg?
9.5.
9.5. You know,
for the draft Kings.
When we were in Vegas, Greg. 7.5, I think, Super Bowl year when I was in Vegas.
I think last year was 9.5 too.
Yeah. Over.
I'm going over too.
Over.
What was it? What was the
9.5?
Oh, over.
I'm leaning more towards 11.
I'll take the over.
I'm 11. I don't get cute right now going 12. I mean, that's cute.
Yeah, come on.
I'm 11. You know, right now they're built for 11. We'll see where it goes. You know, a lot of time.
Under.
Of course you would, you piece of garbage.
No, I have him at 9 right now. I have him at 9.
How do you have this roster at 9? How do you have this roster at 9? I need to know how this team won 10 games last year with me and you as offensive skill position players, and you have them at 9. I just need to know, Greg. I really, truly do for the people. How the hell do you come up with 9? How?
Well, first of all, the Giants-Redskins aren't as bad as they were last year. And then again, we did go through that linebacking core, and there's that miss in the middle. I mean, can I see 10, 11 wins? Absolutely. But I thought that last year too, and you know, we weren't there.
Well, we weren't there because we got plagued with injuries again. We're better.
It's the NFL. We know this.
Yeah, but we're better by default when those guys come back, Greg. And we're
not if you're over at 10 and I'm under at 9, we're a game off.
Right. I'm sorry for antagonizing this because it's not worth it. We love them to death, but we already know, and everybody on the panel knows that it's hate city. It's a dislike for Doug Peterson. It's a beg and a rim job to get Chip Kelly back here in Philadelphia.
It's not even about Chip.
Yeah, Greg, let me ask you this, okay? If Chip Kelly, Tom, you took, again, great minds think alike. I was going right there. Get out of my head.
We know his truth.
Yeah, well, listen, again, we talk and we get ideas. We're rolling, okay? Greg, if Chip Kelly was coaching this team, same roster, same draft. If Chip Kelly was coaching the team, how many wins?
He's going 14-2.
No, 16. No, it's going to be like 2015 all over again. Where's
19-0? 19-0. Where's the losses? We're counting losses. Where are they at? Sam Bradford slicing up the Packers in the preseason.
Jules, how many you got?
I got 11.
11. Frank, how many you got?
Right now, I got 10.
All right,
but it can go up to 11.
I like where your head's at, though. Over. Ralphie?
I got 10. Over.
10? Okay. Rye?
11 for my man, 11.
11 for 11. We're right. We're all also right there. Let's go, baby. We're all over, and there's one crumb on the panel like usual. We already knew who he was when we came in. Enragd, I have no idea. I mean, that's a phenomenal question. You talk about trying to develop one for the future. I don't know where their direction is there, so that's interesting. Maybe it's the year.
The two teams that I thought would draft one would have been the Steelers and the Patriots. Now, the Patriots signed a couple guys, but they didn't draft some actual potential quarterbacks. I don't know. I'm with you.
Is that Cam possibly? Is that Cam?
I don't know. I don't see Ben and
that was Ralphie's prediction.
Ralphie, I don't see.
Yeah, I can't go to
Cam in a room together. Oh my God! You think that? Oh.
Sorry, I had to do it to you, Ralphie. I didn't.
No, that's fine.
I wouldn't want to be the QB coach of that room.
Oh God!
And I would be a QB coach of any room. I think I would set that room out. One, I feel like I might get cornered into a corner by Ben. I don't know where that's going to lead, so I don't want to go down that road.
Any of y'all Chiefs fans? No, but we're Andy fans. Well, Greg's not, but we are.
We're Mahomes guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We respect pimps.
We
like football.
Yeah, we love football. We'll talk when football season comes around. Bam and sports on. We talk.
We love football.
Yeah, great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I watch anything. You know what I mean? Like football. I watch anything.
We've been on for 2.5 hours. It's 11:40. We love football. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah,
clearly.
You think we're talking about might not even having shit happen, and we're still talking about it. Like starting fucking December, and we're here.
Win totals in friggin' May. Is it May? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Not yet. 2 days off.
I mean, if the Phillies were playing, it would be a great conversation right now.
Speaking of, June, anybody? Baseball, June?
Nope. Done talking about it. I'll talk about it when it happens.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
We spent weeks, right? We spent too long.
I agree.
Ralphie's been here, on these weekday shows we were rocking forever for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked about it. It was a topic in every goddamn show. I'm done. I'm done. White flag like JJ in his jersey. Like, I think you put up, right?
Yep.
With his mom. That was phenomenal.
Oh, the umbrella? Yeah, I can't trust an umbrella guy.
He was crying with the mom next to him in the jersey getting taken. Family, though, we love you out there. And shit, I got to tell you something. Hanging with us for 2.5 hours. Whew. I mean, much respect to you guys and everybody on this panel for rocking and rolling. Even though we had power outage.
Oh, Julio's in Vegas. Let's go.
Oh, are you,
Las Vegas.
I got to get out there.
Yeah, you guys are opening up soon, right, Julio?
Go Aviators.
We're gonna do this 2.5 hours then.
I love how God just said,
looking up
by the way, the 76ers need shooters. God knows, he never lies.
Can you help? I mean, God forbid you got a lot to say.
Can you shoot, God? Can you shoot?
Can you give Ben a little bit of a little Kendall rub? Kendall rub in the left shoulder a little bit. Lord, thanks, brother. Thanks, Gav. Love you guys.
Thanks, Lord. Thanks, Gav. Thanks, all.
Eagles fly.
Hey, guys.
And sports will be back soon, and we can't wait. And, everybody, listen, it's not just the people tonight. It's everybody that's been with us and hanging through without sports, because what we wanted to do, and we talked about right when everything happened, is we didn't want to stop because, one, we say it a million times, we need it for our sanity, but we know everybody needed it for theirs as well. We wanted to keep this rolling for you, and credit to all the guys here at A2D for continuing their shows and continuing to talk whatever the hell we can come up with to bring you shit better than the dial. And better than any of the bullshit you're going to listen to around here. So that's always been our goal. And everybody here, show-wise, there ain't nobody in this market that matches the amount of shows and the ability and the talent and the level of how good all these shows are. There isn't anybody out there. Think about it. Think about it in this area. Thank you. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? That's just a mic drop, right, Ralphie?
Absolutely.
I don't know what to tell you. Is there anybody? I mean, think about it. I mean,
Some of these people on the dial don't even talk sports anymore. They're talking about pop culture. They've completely thrown in the towel.
Because you can't go backwards, right? We can't talk about stuff that happened in the past. I mean, have a little memory. Have a little feel. I mean, we did quarterback rankings. We did best Philly athletes. We've done it all, and we're going to bring more. So if we have another month away, guess what? We're going to have more. Oh God, here we go. God, I can't. God, I love you.
That was Prism.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's talking about God. I mean, God's getting a lot of love tonight. And, he's kept us in for 44 days. So it's time for him to grow up a little bit.
Appreciate you, enraged or ragged. Rage.
Yeah, that's how you become crummy today. We stay in for another 44. I'll just tell you that right now.
It'll be crumb of the morning pretty soon. Crumb of the morning.
But guys, awesome show. And
Yes, sir.
And we got a hockey happy hour boys tomorrow night. I know they're gonna have one of the Flyers player development coaches on with them.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't have the name off my head, but stay tuned for that. They'll be on at 10 tomorrow night, right?
Correct.
Their usual start time, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Jeez, 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Hockey happy hour. That's Eastern time, fam. Check them out for all you Flyers and just hockey junkies in general. And then I believe Lazy Bookings are good to go.
Yeah, and they have a guest as well.
And then Lazy Bookings. So, Ryan, do you know who? I'm not a wrestling guy. You guys know this. I saw who it was, but I don't
It's Matt Tremont, formerly of Combat Zone Wrestling on the East Coast.
So isn't that cool? I mean, look what we're doing here at A2 Day, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
Thanks, God.
I give you interviews, and I know Sports Hound's got another Flyers great coming up.
Yes, Monsieur Andre Lacroix.
Look at the interview.
Former Flyer.
Playing radio. Never forget. Never forget, boys. Never forget.
Never forget.
Brian Fishman.
Oh, Jesus.
You're cool.
The fish.
You're cool, bro. Anybody listens how much metal I'm out on.
What is it? Okay. What is it? What is this?
I won't even hold the door for it.
What is that? God.
It's getting late even for God here.
All right, guys, enough.
Yeah. All right, boys. Thank you to our doc. Make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, as well as Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. 20% off if you tell them A2D and God sent you. Gutter guards. Anything around your house that God can't take care of. And Buck Services, best bunker in that. And Buck Services, he's got to get this clip. And BuckServices.com is where you can find them. AMBUCK Services.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Dellavecchio, Greg Milakovic, Nick Juliano, Frank Vespe, AM and the PM /PHIX crossover here on A2D Radio. It's been fun. We've been doing this the last couple of weeks, and when there's no sports on, we might as well. And I'm having a ton of fun with it. I know you guys are. And
yeah, if the fam enjoys it, we enjoy it.
Yep. Well, sometimes.
Depending on the conversation.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. So it's been fun. It's Ramble City, Ramblegate, Joker. God is an Eagles fan. Let's go. I told you, Philly Jesus is new. The dynasty is being built here in Philadelphia, and it started in 2017 with Philly Jesus. It's carrying over to 2020 with God coming in hot during the pandemic. We love you all. Praise you. Get us out of our house.
Praise.
Get us out.